All right.
Yay, here we are. So nice to meet you. Thank you. And I apologize for a little mess up with sound.
All right. Meg, I invite you to jump into the stream if you want to read the chat live.
I can see the chat. Ocean GZ's calling me a hacker. Don't appreciate it.
Beautiful. And your sister's here to make sure that she semi-supports you, so that's awesome.
Gotta love the sisterly love. Hi,
That's
Sarah.
right.
Sisterly love.
All right, guys. So, as you can see with your eye holes, we have Megan here, DE Megan from DE, Digital Extremes, the makers of Warframe. And we are going to be asking her some questions. But first and foremost, we would like to discuss something near and dear to our hearts. And I think our chat is very aware of what that might be.
Yeah.
Tell us about your moose.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
You're the
my
moose.
moose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, my moose had a short life. Yeah, you know, I got my moose when I was 13. His name was Frederick. And he had a great life, you know. Sarah and I would share our moose time together. But Frederick is unfortunately no longer with us, but you know, he was great to have around. He was like riding a horse, you know, as he got bigger, and then when he was small, he was like a little furry dog almost. Kind of thought he was a dog, but as a Canadian, it's a moose.
Sarah's like, best moose. Pour one out for my homie.
Oh, Fred.
Frederick.
Sorry to hear about Fred.
F dog.
Really
So thank you. Yeah. So I'm very sorry to hear about your moose. That's very unfortunate that that it met its demise.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No. That's I hate to start an interview off with such
such a sad
a
note.
devastating topic.
But we did have one question about your moose from the chat, and it was, did your moose get any tattoos before his untimely death? And if so, what?
Yeah.
You know,
What happened?
especially at the age of 13, believe it or not, I didn't have any tattoos yet at the age of 13.
Yeah.
So my moose also did not. Definitely temporary tattoos, you know, the whole
Yeah.
water, stick them on ones. A lot of stickers, a lot of glitter. He was kind of like an arts and craft moose, as
like
was
it.
I. But
like it.
no true tattoos for Frederick.
That's good. Yeah.
Terrific.
Arts and crafts moose are the best moose.
So
Absolutely.
tell us, Meg, how was it growing up in southwestern Ontario?
Ooh.
Gotta say, I mean, growing up with a sister was great. I can definitely attest. So Sarah and I, we're 14 months apart, so we're super close in age.
Oh, wow.
And even though I am younger and she is 14 months older than me, I regretfully bullied her a lot when we were kids. There was a time where my mom was just so fed up with me being mean to my sister that she was like, I'm going to take your glasses off and just let you go in the backyard and go at it, Canadian fist fight style.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
of course, like being me, I was like, oh, like that's hardcore. No, I'm fine. I'm just going to bully Sarah from afar. And like, you know, she tried to get back at me too. She hit me with a rock once with a badminton racket. That was fun.
Damn.
Wow. That's rough.
Yeah, no, it's just like, you know, classic childhood, like, you know, roughhousing it, trying to be, you know, I was younger, so I had to like, you know, act big and tough, but I'm really not.
Yeah.
But no, other than that, obviously we're the best of friends now. And
That's awesome. Can we get a shout out for Garbage Palace, aka Sarah? She is a streamer. She is a quality assurance tester for Warframe, and she's an awesome individual. So let's get a shout out for her. Thank you, you guys.
What is it like working with your sister now?
well, I mean, sadly, we don't work in the office anymore.
Right.
But when we were in the office, Sarah loved to come to my desk or my office, I guess. So like almost every day I'd have like a little visit from Sarah, and she would just like, I don't know, chat about her day or like show me something on the internet. So that was always fun. Because we do, you know, live in separate houses. And, you know, we're much older now and that kind of thing. But, you know, we'd have like little chats. Sometimes we'd go for like a coffee run or go outside
That's
or
awesome.
something. Yeah. So it was really nice to have her working there. And then obviously now, you know, we don't work in the office, but I talk to Sarah every single day of my life. So
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Aw.
Aw, you guys are the most adorable.
Cutest.
God, you're so Canadian. Was it Megan or Sarah that broke the Game Boy during the argument once?
Ooh, I think it's Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it went, we had a Game Boy that we shared. Bless my mother's soul for attempting to have two daughters share a Game Boy.
Yeah. Are we talking OG?
We're talking Game Boy Color, yeah.
Okay, so it may as well be OG.
May as well be OG. Definitely playing Pokemon on it for sure.
Nice.
And I think I was playing it. I think I was playing it, and Sarah wanted to play it, and um, I was like, being a jerk about it, and I'm like, no, it's not your time yet. And then when I did give it to her, she chucked it across the room, and it like hit a wall and exploded. I think that's how it went. It might have been the opposite. I don't really know, but it definitely
Oh,
exploded against a
no.
wall at some point.
I would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to see the devastation in both of your faces.
Yeah.
Just the
Yeah.
dead silence, like, oh, fuck.
What have we done?
Yeah, that's when you realize that, like, okay, sharing is caring. Like, we really need to not fight over this anymore.
You realize we ain't getting another one of these, right?
Yeah, my mom's like, well.
Well, it's too bad.
Well, that was an awesome story.
That was a good story. I like that. Thank you, Kayla, for gifting a sub to Garbage Palace, and Jimmy voiceover for gifting that sub earlier to Megan. Yes,
Yeah.
hot.
So you
thank
actually,
you.
you're rocking the emotes as of today.
Got some uni duckies now. Yeah.
Oh my god, I have unicorn poop too. This
Yeah.
is great.
I mean, yeah, all of the poops and the ducks.
All of the poops and the ducks, yeah. So we can move on into. So generally, I think I explained to you yesterday. We generally will do about 40 minutes, 45 minutes of Warframe questions, and then we get into the meat and potatoes. That is
Fun stuff.
Meg,
Yeah, that's it.
not
Love it.
not DE Meg. That's when we take the D hat and we
Right.
set it aside.
We talk about.
We just talk about Megan Everett.
Yeah.
The Megan Everett.
Love it.
All right.
All right, hey, here we go. How do you find being in the public eye, even with a great community like Warframe?
How would I define?
How do you find
it?
it? How do you find
How do
it?
I find
What's
it?
your experience?
I've been working at DE for, I believe this year will be my 7th year. Wait, 8th year.
Wow.
2021, 8 years. Yeah, in August it'll be working at DE for 8 years. I think, yeah, 23. Okay, 8 years. My math is correct. Always had to backtrack there. But it has its ups and downs for sure. I think anyone who has social media can attest to it there being ups and downs of just having some kind of presence. And I by no means am anybody special or anything like that. Like, I'm just a normal girl from London, Ontario, trying to make my way, find my way, do my job, do it as best as I can. And there's always going to be people that are with me or that is against me, and that's totally fine. But I've definitely grown a pretty thick skin over the almost 8 years of working at DE. At first, I really struggled with being in the public eye, essentially. I was so excited to do streaming with Rebecca. I started in 2013 in August, and I think October 2013 was our first prime time together. So it was like, so grateful, obviously, for the opportunity because it is what it is now. But, I was just suddenly on the internet, and like my face was there and everything, and I wasn't, super used to that. So I watched, every stream back. I read every single comment. I just was immersed in what everyone was saying about me. And that was really bad because I would take every comment to heart and was like, this person hates me. This person, is making fun of my appearance, blah, blah, blah. They're right. They're absolutely correct. I need to change this about myself. And it was really hard at first because I didn't really know how to process that much, information or that much opinions about me all at once. So I really struggled with that at the beginning. And then, over time you realize that these people have nothing better to do than make fun of someone on the internet. And I would never do that. And you don't take things so personally. You take things with grains of salt, and you really, focus your time and attention on the people that are supporting you and making you happy, making you smile. I see Jamie voiceover in chat. I see Digressive, and you guys, our Warframe creators, everyone that supports us, and we support them back. And it's just, human beings that don't go on the internet to crap on each other. That's my jam.
Yeah.
I thrive on that. And that's what, being in the public eye, like I said, at first really hard. And, sometimes I do still struggle. I definitely saw comments last year. Last year was really hard, being at home and not having, my team physically with me and stuff like that. So being at home, I'm just sitting in this room and, maybe my diet wasn't the greatest last year, whatever. Like but people comment on that and you see it and you have nowhere else to go. And you just like take it to heart and you're like, what do I do about this? And then, I don't know, you get in your head a lot being in the public eye. And I've really tried to just like, yes, I see those comments, but I could care less about them. And I'm not going to, blatantly comment on them. If I see them on stream, I don't really call them out because that just really gives them more power to make fun of you. And like, that's not what I'm about. That's not what I want to advocate. So I'm just like, you hype me up, I hype you up, back and forth. Like, let's just be friends.
Well, Megan, we adore you. Okay. So
oh, jeez.
No, that totally makes sense. Do you find that once you reconciled that negativity and was like, nah, I'm not going to read it anymore, I'm not going to deal with that anymore, how do you find that the process of going on stream then, or being in the public eye has been since you've made that conscious decision to be like, F them?
Oh, so much better. Like there's, I'll if I post something, I have different social medias, right? Like my Twitter is predominantly Warframe. Like I post Warframe things, I retweet Warframe things, so I'm discussing Warframe things. So that is something that I'm kind of always looking at. And of course you have people there that are very dedicated to the game and have their opinions. I totally validate that. And then, I have my Instagram where it's not super Warframey. It's more like a personal account where I'll post random double chin pictures of myself on my couch. You know what I mean? Like it's very casual, but stuff like that, I don't even look at the comments. I don't. I post it and I'm done with it. Like that's it. I don't need people's comments on, me sitting on my couch or whatever it is. Like that's not what I'm about.
So it's not for validation.
No, it's just like Doc, we had a call yesterday and you kind of the whole, this interview process right now of like talking about Warframe, but then we're also just going to talk about, random casual stuff. I think people do forget that people in the public eye that, community managers, I'm just going to use myself as an example, we are just humans. We're not robots. Like, we have lives outside of this. We're not Warframe all day, every day. And we do have, I love anime. I love RuPaul's Drag Race. Like I have all these loves and, I want an avenue to celebrate those and talk about those so people can, relate on different aspects of me. I'm not all Warframe. I am all these other things. I love Warframe and that is my life, but I have other things to do. So, be in the public eye, but realizing that you need to take a step back and not read into every single comment that is said about you or about something that you're doing or something that you posted has really helped me over the almost 8 years now of just being able to guard my own emotions and not, get into a dark hole of I'm an awful person because this person thinks I am.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've been there. I have to say, watching you and Reb and everybody who streams on the Warframe channel, I think you bring a lot of encouragement to streamers and female streamers who are facing the same thing. And I think that we really take a page from your book and take that confidence and your attitude on stream is just so positive and like, this is who I am, like take me as I am. And I think that really, really helps. Like you're evidently not trying to hold back or hide a big piece of you. And I thank you for that because it's inspiring. So you're doing an awesome thing.
Thank you. Yeah. I heard a quote, I think it was last year, and it was, comparison is the thief of joy. And that has stuck with me for so long because, like I said, I have my Twitter, I have my Instagram, I have all these things, and people are constantly uploading things, and I definitely compare myself to other people, other women especially, and thinking like, oh, maybe I should dress like that, maybe I should, do something like that to get that. And it's just like, it's so aggressive, especially on social media, because it's just always in your face. And it's hard for me to not want to compare myself to other people, and I just have to take a step back, breathe, kind of unplug for a little bit. I unplug a lot, especially like where I am now. I do have to unplug, or else I will get into that dark hole of just the endless scrolling through comments, or just the Twitter homepage, like what I have going on. Like I'll just scroll endlessly, and I'll just waste hours, and I'll look up and I'm like, oh, it's dark outside and I have no lights on and I'm sitting in the dark on my couch. Like I should probably take a step back and it's hard, but it's something that you have to
we
kinda
found the
blurs
same
the
thing.
blur.
We were the exact same way. I would say last year, and we had to get to a point in the exact like the unplugging. We didn't realize how important
How important.
unplugging was
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
we both came to a point. It was almost at the exact same time where we just both were like, "Well, I feel like shit, and
I feel like people hate me.
I feel like
don't
people
think-
hate
yeah.
me, or I feel
Yeah.
like like these successes that I wanted to meet, I'm not meeting, and it's because and you get into your own head and you start. It's like being down on yourself or having a low self-esteem times 10 because you have the amplification of an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you even like, and then there's the other side of like, then you feel guilty about unplugging. Like, you feel like you should be plugged in all the time
Yeah.
because you have an audience, you have a community, and you feel like as soon as you unplug, they forget about you,
Or you're abandoning them.
or you're abandoning them. And it's like, no, like, this is for my mental health. And like, I advocate all the time, unplugging and just doing what you need to do to make yourself happy, because our world is real nuts right now. And
Yeah.
if you need to unplug and start up some knitting, go for a walk,
Right.
do something else, you do that, because it's going to benefit you in the long run, I feel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, taking time for yourself even though it's hard, is like one of the most important things.
Well, and any time
Absolutely.
that we've ever come back from doing that, because we'll take a chunk every once in a while. Like, we're both very, I don't want to say emotional people, but we're in touch with our psyche, and so when it all shit hits the fan, we do step away, and it's the best thing because we always come back with a bang.
Yeah.
So I
Exactly. Like, you
completely
come
agree.
back come back refreshed, and you're like, okay, now, like, I almost feel like more motivated after I have a little bit of like a break, especially, we had our holiday break end of December for work, and I had some time off before that because of vacations, and then I came back, January 4th or whatever it was, and I was just like, I had all these goals written out for work, and I'm like, I'm ready, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Like, you see what you did last year, and you think about all the time you have this year to do stuff, and it's like, oh, I'm ready, I'm so excited.
So pumped. Yeah. Absolutely. So there actually, interestingly enough, there aren't a lot of questions that are Warframe related. I think people really have come to know you for who you are, because most of the questions are about all the things that you love. So we're going to be getting to those fairly quickly.
Well, and luckily for you, I mean, we have had Danielle on and we've had Reb on.
Yeah.
And I think
People
they answered the questions that people would have.
Yeah.
So for you, it's just like,
Let's learn about Megan.
Let's learn about Meg. She seems okay. Let's learn about her.
It's pretty fantastic.
I'm down.
Okay, so just a couple of questions. There's a couple people who really wanted to know if it weren't for Warframe, what game would you be most interested in working for?
Oh, game. I mean, I think it's clear as day that I'm a huge Nintendo fan. I actually attribute Zelda to being the reason why my sister and I stopped bullying each other.
Nice.
Because, I mean, obviously we fought over the Game Boy, but that's because we shared one, and that didn't work out. But when we started, I mean, we played Zelda forever. Like, Ocarina of Time was the first one we played. I know I'm aging myself right now.
No,
but
you're amongst your people right now. That's our
peers.
Yeah, we had the N64. We actually had a shared save file on Zelda that was called Megsa, so like Megan and Sarah, and like that was what we played on.
That is awesome.
A lot of sharing going on. But yeah, so we played Ocarina of Time, like Diddy Kong Racing, 007,
Nice.
GoldenEye. But I think, if I wasn't working on Warframe, and I don't see myself ever not working on Warframe, I think Nintendo would be the avenue, just because I am such a fanboy. Obviously, I have, my body permanently inked in almost everything but, Nintendo only stuff.
Yeah.
A lot of anime stuff, but like Nintendo has been a love of mine, and it will forever be a love of mine. Zelda continually just makes me the happiest individual. If I hear, a Zelda song in the background, I'm just I'm already happy. And
those Ocarina songs.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my god, I know that.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Game Grumps, and the other day I was talking to my sister about this, but I just put on like a marathon Wind Waker video that they were playing, and it's like 2 hours long or whatever, and it's in the background like while I'm working, and I just hear the music of Wind Waker, and I'm just like immediately so much happier, and like brings back memories of like my sister and I playing it in the basement, and like not going to school and playing Zelda, like the classic childhood things.
Yeah. I love that. Well, speaking
Aw,
of
so
the
nostalgic.
tattoos, the ink, your Nintendo ink, and such, we did get a question from
did.
El Randino
Yeah, let's just jump right over it.
regarding
Let's do it.
some tattoos. So as of late,
Yeah.
we've been discussing tattoos on this channel primarily because Lala has a bunch of ink done and she wants to get it finished, and I want to do sleeves, which also has very Nintendo influence, or very big Nintendo influences in it as well. But that being said, this question.
Oh shoot! I gotta find it though.
Oh, I thought.
no!
I mean, I got it.
There's such a lengthy list of questions. I don't see it.
Control F tattoo, quick.
Yeah.
Tattoo, where are you?
No, it's fine. We gotta keep it professional. It's jeez.
I think the question was more general about what was your plan for your tattoos? How did they come about? Was there like an organization like in the way that you had them, or was it more just like I really love this and I need it tattooed right now?
Yeah, I got I think I don't know the rules elsewhere or the laws or whatever, but here obviously I think it's at the time when I got it, is it 18 or 16 that you're allowed to get tattoos?
I think it's 16 with permission,
Permission, yeah.
18
Correct,
to go on
yes.
your own.
Yeah.
Yes. So I was at this will be a very local thing, so you guys will probably recognize it, but I was at Grand Bend Beach
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they had a tattoo studio called Perfect Image, and you know, it's Grand Bend has the notoriety of being like the party after high school. You go there and you have your whatever they call that high school prom after party thing.
Yeah.
So it's a very like, you know, young scene or whatever. Anyway, so they have a tattoo place and a lot of people get really bad tattoos out of there because they're usually maybe a little intoxicated.
Yeah.
But so my very first tattoo ever is this black heart.
Ooh. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's about the size of a loony. I paid way too much for it because I didn't understand pricing, and I think they might have gypped me out of it. But you know, I had parental signing or
Yeah.
whatever for it, so I got that, and I thought I was the coolest person on earth. I thought I was such a badass, and I remember actually I was gonna get it like on my hand, right in between my thumb, and my mom was like, "Yeah, do it." And when I went there, the guy was like, "This is your first tattoo? No, I'm not gonna tattoo your hand." And I was like, "That's so lame." But now, you know, being older,
Fine.
I'm like, "Thank you for saving me from getting a poor hand tattoo."
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got the heart, and then. I think anyone who gets a tattoo says this, but you kind of get like that itch and that urge to get more.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And my next tattoo after that, it's actually covered up now. But I used to have birds that went from like my elbow to my wrist and like the silhouette of birds. And then it had a quote that said, "Keep moving forward," because it was and it is still my favorite quote, but the quote was in cursive.
Yeah.
And this is my one tip of advice for anyone that gets tattoos is really look at the tattoo. Like the artist will like, you know, do a sketch and you get to approve it and whatnot or make changes before you get tattooed, but really look at it. I was just so excited that I was like, my judgment was clouded and I was just like, yes, I love it, it's perfect, everything about it is amazing.
Yeah.
And I got it done, and then I'm looking at it and I'm like, because it's in cursive, it's so loopy that like the R and forward look like an H. And at that time I worked at a grocery store, and you know, my customers or whatever who knew me would like, "Oh my god, you got a new tattoo, Megan, like what does it say?" And I would just put my arm up so they could read it, and they'd be like, "Keep moving, Froha." And I was like, oh my god, I am mortified. And so it was there for a long time. And then after that, I still on this where am I? No, this arm I have a half sleeve of Wind Waker. It's got Link. And that I love this one, still love it to this day. And after that, oh, I have so many. It just, you know, my love of Zelda definitely kicked off me wanting to get tattoos. I looked at Zelda tattoos forever on Tumblr back in the day.
Tumblr.
Yeah.
Tumblr
Keep
was
aging
like,
yourself, Meg.
I know, I'm so sorry. It was the place for tattoos. Like everyone posts their tattoos on there. And yeah, I have anime tattoos. My whole right leg from like hip to ankle is Haku Dragon from Spirited Away. I have a sternum tattoo that no one ever sees, and I forget I even have sometimes because I'm like, oh, there
I
it
don't
is.
see it either. Yeah.
Forgot about you.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, you know, you find artists that you love, and you want their art on you. I honestly believe it is art. Like you get the people that are like, oh, that's permanently on your body forever. It's like, yes, and it's art and it's beautiful. And I'm gonna be the most badass 90-year-old silver-haired fox with they will fade, and yes, they might look a little blotchy, but I don't care. Like, I love them. I love the meaning behind them. Like I said, Zelda Wind Waker for me very much reminds me of my sister, and how we would play in the basement all the time. It's one of my favorite Zeldas. I have Twilight Princess Zelda on this arm. Like, it's all things that are really special to me. Like, I don't have a tattoo that doesn't have a meaning towards it, other than the sternum one. It's just a design, but whatever. Like I said, I barely see it. Yeah, nobody sees it. It's fine. But yeah, every tattoo is a meaning for me, and even if it doesn't have a meaning, who cares? Like, if you like it, you like it, put it on your body. You can get it removed if you want, and live your life. And just, if you want art on your body, you want it. And right now I'm taking a break from tattoos because the giant Haku leg one was so aggressive. And it was just like, I need a break. Like, I have a relatively high pain tolerance. And when you get a tattoo, you just like get into a zone, and you just like, it hurts obviously, but you just kind of try to block it out. But I will say that getting a tattoo in, like, I call it the knee ditch, so not the front of the knee but the back of the knee, where it's all like squishy. Oh my god, my eyes rolled to the back of my head. I was gripping the bench, like I was ready to pass out, and I was like, just do it, get it done. But you got to go through the pain to get the beauty. So
you need a long
solid. I like that. You got to go through the pain to get the beauty. I like that. It explains our relationship.
Perfect.
What was I going to ask? Do you have somebody in London a go-to for your tattoos?
Who do you recommend?
Yeah, he actually, sadly doesn't live in London anymore, but he does come to London to do any of his London customers, because he's from London. His name is Eugene Lee. He he works, I can't think of what the studio's called, but he moved to Hamilton, has a studio there in Hamilton.
Oh, that's cool. Would you put us in touch? That's actually closer to us, Hamilton, than
sweet.
London.
You should get in touch with him.
Yeah, I will absolutely send over his link. He does amazing work. He did my giant Haku leg. He did Twilight Princess arm here. So he's done predominantly my newer tattoos and my most recent ones, and I'm obsessed with his work. And I fangirled when I messaged him like way back in the day and was like, are you interested in this? And actually the first thing I ever got from him was like an up for grabs piece. So he posted on his Instagram, it was just a rose, and he's like, up for grabs if anyone wants it. And I was like, yes, this is my I'm gonna get this done, we're gonna be best friends. He's gonna do all of my tattoos. And like, that's what happened. And I was like, oh, I love this.
That's what I'm trying to make happen right now, actually, with Meg. I'm like, listen, I don't know if you already have a best friend, but I'm kind of in the market, and I also need tattoos.
Sorry, Reb, move over.
Yeah, sorry, Reb. If that's not even a name, really. Come on. So I guess the natural question then, in terms of the topic of your tattoos, would be, what is your favorite Legend of Zelda game?
Oh,
like, that is a hard question. Because,
yes, it is.
Like, Ocarina is a favorite because it was the first one I ever played. Wind Waker is a favorite because I have so many good memories associated with that. And it's crazy how many people hated at the beginning when they saw it revealed.
Yeah.
So, like, this is not the art style we wanted. And, like, I totally understand that. And then it came out and they're like, this is the greatest Zelda, not of all time, but like, this is an amazing Zelda.
Yeah.
And the art style is just incredible. It's so happy and bright, and I love it, and dark at the same time. So I love that. But I also love Majora's Mask because it's so dark and like it gives me nightmares, and it's just like a beautifully well done game. I love Twilight Princess. It's also really dark, and like, I honestly can't pick one.
All right,
but
top three.
Top three would be Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, and Breath of the Wild. I think Breath of the Wild is an absolute masterpiece, and I remember sitting in bed watching like the reveal of Breath of the Wild, and I literally had misty eyes. I was like, this is everything I needed and more in my life right now.
That's amazing. That's a solid top pick, I would say. I think Ocarina, anybody our age would say Ocarina in the top three, of course.
Yeah.
And like, I was watching Awesome Games Done Quick. They just had like their big week in January, and the speed runs of Ocarina of Time are unreal. There was an individual, I can't remember his name, I'm sorry, who did it blindfolded, and Oh no, wait, that was Mario 64. Anyways, Ocarina of Time speedruns are ridiculous because they know all the like, broken parts of it or whatever. And like I'll even watch that. I actually remember watching a Wind Waker speedrun way back in the day. And I then went and played Wind Waker and I tried to do one of the speed hacks and like got myself all confused. I was like, I broke it.
No! Oh no, what have I done?
Forget this game.
Yeah, I'm just gonna play it normally. It's fine.
That's awesome.
Have you ever sped run a game? Speed run, sped run? Is it past?
No, the only speed runs I guess that I would classify as ones I've done is I actually did a Warframe Lua spy speed run with Shawl way back in the day. And I practiced so hard for that. Yeah. I actually wasn't too bad. I just like I'm really bad at like panicking. Yeah. Like it starts happening and then I'm just like about to pass out and I overthink things and then I mess up and I'm like, well, that's embarrassing. You could practice so many times and then as soon as the camera turns on or whatever, you're like, I forget what I was doing.
Yeah. What is this again?
Meg, do you remember Hybrid Haven?
Sarah, I absolutely do. That was an N64 game. It was so weird. It was like this guy try to save the city or something from weird aliens that would fall from the ceiling and you'd eat weird shaped medicine things and it was a whack game, but that was one of my favorite N64 games.
That's like a weekend for you, babe. I think it's like that's not what the game was about. Yeah. Can you not joke about my childhood?
There was a scene, a shower scene where you saw his butt, but other than that, it was very steamy.
Gross.
But it was like that back in the day it was like triangles, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Big triangle butt.
With that polygonal ass.
Yeah.
All right.
So okay, some Warframe stuff. People want to know your faves. Favorite floof, favorite frame, favorite weapon, everything.
Ooh,
so
okay.
So we'll summarize it like this. What are your top 5 favorite things in Warframe?
Top 5 favorite things. I mean, does my fashion frame count as one entity?
Absolutely.
I suppose that really is in the eye of the beholder, isn't it?
I personally am a massive fan of your fashion, so
I feel like, do you remember when we were kids and it's like everybody had those like solo cup jackets?
Yes.
And it was like neon and like they had the windbreakers and
yes.
Your fashion frame style, and in no way is this bad because I absolutely adore that fashion style, reminds me of that every time I see it. I'm like, she's so neon.
I will take that as the biggest compliment because I also love that fashion. And like, if I see a neon windbreaker at a thrift store, I'm like, give me that. Like, I will wear that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think just fashion frame in general being as big as it is and as fun as it is and as crazy as it can be is one of my favorite things about Warframe.
Yeah.
I love obviously our immersive quests. I'm a big lore person and just in terms of story, like I play a lot of role-playing games. I love choose your own adventure games. So any kind of, story that gives me options to pick what I want to say. I'm like, ooh, I love it. I want to be evil. Let me be mean. So I love doing that. I mean, my favorite frames, no doubt, Anaros Prime is just my boy. I recently been playing Goss, and I love him a lot, actually. Nova Prime is the cutest thing in the world. I love her greatly. Obviously, Valkyr, very close to my heart, because you gotta have Valkyr in there.
You do.
I think other favorite things are, I love going to dojos and how we started the whole featured dojo things.
Oh my god, that one you guys went to yesterday. Oh my god.
A dragon?
Unreal. A dragon, a floating. It is. I can't even like fathom just spending the time, the resources to like build that and how. And it's like I see that and I obviously don't know the amount of time or work that went into that, but I see it and I'm like, have you been sitting in this room for like a month straight making this room? Like I don't understand, but I appreciate it and I love it so damn much, and they're so creative. And whenever we add like dojo decorations and an update or something, I'm like, yes, more rooms. Like, what are we gonna find? I want to see it.
Oh, it's incredible. It's just mind-blowing. So was that so it was fashion frame, the dojos, the storyline and lore, and the
warframes.
Then there was. Can you tell us what was Valkyr?
It was Anaros, Valkyr.
And tell us why Valkyr is so near and dear to your heart.
For those who don't know.
For those who don't know, I wouldn't necessarily call it a voice. It's more of a sound effect. But the scream, the audible scream that comes out of Valkyr is me screaming. Obviously, piled with FX sounds and whatever, but it is, down to the base of it, it is my scream acting exactly.
Yeah.
I will never in my lifetime recreate that scream. In
Sorry,
public.
guys. Jamie, 70s. Sorry, guys.
It's never gonna happen. I've told this story, but with George Spanos, who's our audio director, when he messaged me, at work way back in the day and said, "Hey, do you want to essentially scream in our sound booth and be the voice? Because Warframes don't have a voice, but be the voice of this new Warframe coming up." And I was like, "Oh my god, yes, this is my moment!" And I go in there, I'm in the sound booth. It is so hot. And there's no air movement and I'm just sweating.
Yeah.
And he wants me to just scream at the top of my lungs and make a fist and just shake my body and really get into it. And I was like, this is amazing. But then I screamed so much and so loud that it just ripped my throat apart and I got really sick afterwards because it just got infected. And I was like, this is great. But
it made it into the game. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you healed, clearly.
Worth it.
All is well. I mean, who knows what I might sound like if I didn't have that.
That's
happen to me.
Just this gorgeous, lustrous,
I
having these
a singer.
$100,000 jobs doing voiceovers, and we got screwed that up.
Yeah, could have been. What could have been?
Yeah.
I'll take Valkyr Prime voice any day. I love it.
That's sick.
So Sarah says that she can attest that you do shout like that when you're scared. So that is.
I mean, I remember George. His direction specifically was scream like you're being chased, like you're literally about to be murdered. And I was like, George, I've never had that happen to me in my life. How do I know what that sounds
like? Can I relate to that? Yeah.
Where do I pull that from? I don't know. Movies. So.
Good point, Ryger. So to bring it back around full circle, you got to go through the pain to get to the beauty.
There you go.
Exactly. And Valkyr Prime, beauty.
A lot of people need to know now what the weapon is of choice.
I mean, I'm forever an Archiplasmor girl. Ooh. I kind of took a break from it because I could see that people were getting annoyed that all I would ever play was Archiplasmor, and they're like, Megan, use something else for God's sake. So I was like, I feel that. I understand that. I also am a little tired of it. So I'm an Archiplasmor girl. I love the War as a melee weapon or the Seti Lacera as a melee weapon.
Yes.
I'm a huge fan of the Vacor Merlock. When I first got that way back in the day, it was also something that I use constantly. I think it has a really cool reload animation that I'm a huge fan of. I have a kick gun that is near and dear to my heart called Blind Observer. It's actually the name of a player who sent me the build and was like, this is a really good kick gun. So I named it after them. So it's a Blind Observer. But it is one of my favorite secondary weapons that I have currently. Yeah, that's kind of my tops right now. I realize this as I'm playing Genshin Impact. I'm not much of a bow user. No. I'm very much melee or magic if I have to pick a weapon of choice. So bows, not really my thing.
No.
I can hear you there. I don't.
Yeah, I stand behind you on that one.
It's too long. Takes too long.
Love
you need to kill faster.
Exactly.
Okay, there's some questions about Tennocon and cosplay. With your involvement in the cosplay contest at Tennocon, is there anything in particular you or DE would be geeked out to see in person or brought to life?
Oh, it's so hard because Warframes are so crazy detailed and they are not easy to cosplay. And that's when Tennocon comes around and we have the cosplay contest, I always have the anxiety of no one's gonna dress up, no one's gonna make anything because they're so crazy detailed. And how do you if you have to fly to London, Ontario, how do you bring that with you? There's so many things that I get really nervous about because I don't know if people are going to show up in an outfit and the show is going to be bad or anything, but people always show up. And it is honestly one of the most rewarding things about my job. I said this before, but Tennocon, the first Tennocon we ever did, the cosplay show was kind of like a game time decision. If people show up, then we'll have the cosplay show. And if they don't, then we'll just put something else in that time slot. And I remember I was doing something else and I got a little call on my headset radio and was like, Megan, we need you in this room for the cosplay show. And I was like, oh, sweet. It's happening.
Yeah.
And I walk in there and there's just a massive crowd of people crammed into that room. There's all these people dressed up and I was like, oh my God, it worked. People actually want to make cosplay. And it was like I said, one of the best feelings of my entire life was
Yeah.
seeing all the work that goes into that.
Mhm.
And year after year, they step up their game, and there's always something new to see, or returning people with new cosplays, and I love it. I think something that personally I would love to see. I mean, if there wasn't a Naros at Tennocon, I think it was last year, but I would love to see. Uh, Not necessarily Warframes, but I'd love to see like the NPC characters or whatever. Like
Mm,
I love to see a Kanzu, so I could just go
yeah.
up to him and say like early lunch and like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like I would love to see that. There was Smooney actually did Lotus Prime one year. There
Ooh.
was a Barokatir. I always love a Barokatir because whoever dresses up in Barokatir really has like the attitude of Barokatir and has like the cheesy smile, like a salesman. He's like, "Hey, I'm here to
Yeah.
sell you wares," and I'm like, "Oh my god, I love everything about this." So yeah, I personally love to see like NPC characters and like those kind of characters. I would so down to see that.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, completely.
Did you mention your favorite part of Warframe lore, as people would like to know the best thing
Ooh.
that ever happened in Warframe for you was?
I actually was thinking about this the other day. My absolute all-time favorite quest or lore essentially was the sacrifice. That one hit me so hard. Obviously we as developers and working on the game, we're working on it before it comes out, so we see the progress of it. And the road up to launching that, I was really nervous. And there was actually, it's kind of, maybe it's a little bit of a sad story, but we're talking personal things. At that time, it was 2017 when we were developing it. We showed it at the 2017 Tennocon, and during that time in my life, that's when I lost my grandma. So I was doing a lot of like hospital visits. So the sacrifice scenes when you're in the hospital bed, you hear like the beeping or whatever, like that hit me so hard emotionally. So I have like a weird attachment to the sacrifice, but also like Smiles of Duran, that just melody hits me. Like I have goosebumps right now talking about it, but that quest in general just like makes me like emotional in like a sad way, but also like I just feel like connected to it. And I think it's a beautiful story of like pain, but also resilience. And I don't know, like obviously I love the Second Dream and like the OG quest that really like exploded, but the sacrifice for me just like rocked my world, and I love it so much. I think Umbra is an incredible character. I remember, when Umbra came out, and we said, for this public build, we wanted Umbra to have a story. We didn't just want to put out this version of Excalibur and be done with it. And I think we've really gave him justice with the sacrifice quest, and I was so happy of how that turned out. And I love that quest.
Yeah.
Well, our condolences on the loss of your grandmother, but that's a pretty incredible connection
Way
to
to
have
connect to
to
a
an
story.
in-game story and lore like that. So that's actually that's really, really cool. I know a lot of people will do a similar thing with music or movies that they've watched at a specific time, but to actually have that in a video game. So when you hit that scene, if you play it again, it's like
memory.
intense and very personal. So that's very, very interesting.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. That was really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the topic of Warframe, this is an interesting question from chat. If you had one Warframe that you were able to summon and use in real life, their powers and all, what would you choose and why?
Ooh, this is like the question of like, if you could have a superpower, what would it be? And I never know the answer to it. Which Warframe would I summon? I mean, Grendel, obvious choice, because I just want to eat everything in sight and just live my best life.
Yes.
That would be fantastic.
I like how you think. Yep.
Yeah, ain't nothing rude about food.
Nope.
No, I mean, always be snacking. That's my motto. Like, snack all day, every day.
Yeah. Every day.
So Grendel is a choice for sure. Titania would be great because I want to be tiny and I could fly around. I've always said that even though I am an extrovert, like I love, talking to people and, being in a crowd. I do thrive on that, but I'm also like an introvert. I love being a homebody. I love just, being quiet and just hanging out. And there's so many times in my life where I wish I was a fly on the wall in situations where I could just, I want to be there, but I don't want to be there.
Yeah.
So it's like, I love people watching. That's a great hobby. I love it. I used to sit in downtown London, Ontario in the Starbucks and just watch people talk to each other and walk around. Love it.
So we used to do that. We would find groups of people and we would stand afar and
just hang out.
The beautiful part was like we would stand far enough that we couldn't hear what they were saying, but we saw their lips moving, so it gave me an opportunity to just
do scripts. Yeah.
Do scripts. So we would watch people and I would be saying what they're saying, and it was just But you got to be in the background for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could just be like staring at them and like, what's your story? I'm gonna make it up for you.
Yeah. What kind of cream do you have to go into Shoppers for?
Exactly.
Well, that's awesome.
I have to say this one thing. From the 70s is here, who I adore, and he was very saddened about the bow comment, and I have to say, Brahma is life. 70s? I'm so sorry.
Actually, yeah. Haley Bailey also called me out for saying that I dislike bows.
I know. I feel terrible.
And it's not that I don't hate bows. I just like if I'm gonna pick between, you know, a sweet rifle or even a melee weapon, like I'm gonna pick that and not the bow. But I'll still play a bow. I will live my Legolas life, but I would rather be like Aragorn.
I like that.
You know?
That was good. That was good. Yeah, I won't. Apparently, it is 70's birthday today.
70s. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, brother.
Happy birthday. You guys go check out the 70s. I'm not shut them out.
All right. Next question.
Next question.
Does pineapple belong on pizza? Yes or no, and why?
Oh no! Why have you done this?
I'm about to make enemies, aren't I?
Yeah, this is most contentious.
Well, and most of all, it'll either be me or Lala. So
we're on opposite sides of the fence.
Hey, all right. You know what? Variety is the spice of life. I will eat pineapple on pizza. I will.
Excellent.
I'm sorry, Doc. I'm so sorry.
No, it's fine. Just get me the name of your tattoo artist and we'll be done here.
That'll balance it out. Okay, yeah. I like it.
You can be my BFF. Garbage Palace says, next question, is Sarah cool, yes or no?
Or maybe.
100% yes.
Or maybe.
100% yes. Always yes.
So about Sarah, we actually adore Sarah. I spoke to Sarah about doing a uni ducky for us. Yeah. A knitted. I said knitted, and I think she crocheted. Maybe
crochet. Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys don't know Sarah, she's awesome. Anyway, I don't mean to be going on about Sarah while Megan's here, but I mean,
so cool. It's just so cool.
All right.
It's like my whole life. Everyone's talking about it. No, I'm kidding.
Oh really? So it's all about her. Is this her interview? So.
Oh, here's a good question. Is there a story behind your signature colors? Were they just random, or will there be an update of them in the future, like Megan's World 2.0? That's the question, exactly.
Megan 2.0. Well, I remember the very first prime time we did, I had like a purple, white, silver color palette going on. And I think I stuck with that for a bit. And honestly, it was just hitting random that gave me those colors. And I think I actually like tweaked them to be a bit more like, you know, Easter pastel-y, because like I vibe with those colors. I love those colors. Even though like you'll never really see me like wearing them, I think those colors just together are really fun. And I know some people don't like it, and honestly it doesn't work for every frame, and I totally get that. Like I can attest, even the, you know, artist behind Elvira Prime said that she looked beautiful in my colors. You know, it works for some, it does not work for others, but I'll keep it forever. And I actually have I did like the Xbox custom colored controller that you could do.
Nice.
And I got those colors done. And it just like, I love it. I love the colors. I don't think I'll ever change it. I think I'll just like stick with it until it, you know, it gets really boring.
You have to. Yeah.
You should mess with everybody one day when you go on primetime and just go on with like a base colored
just, like,
Excalibur.
Just
nothing.
Boring.
Be like, here, you guys happy? Huh?
Yeah.
Is this what you wanted?
I'm being vanilla now. This is what you get.
Yeah. I'll be colorful in my own time. So what is the story behind corn?
I'm so glad you asked that. I was just about to ask because I'm so desperate to know. I don't know the story.
Okay, so I love corn. And this is not like you know, I think some people think like, oh, she's just saying that to like have a thing or whatever. It's like, no, I love corn.
Well, and that makes sense. Like, of all things, if you say you like corn, that's like, you are so pretentious.
Is it? Corn is pretentious.
Corn is so pretentious.
I never thought of corn
so
as
if you actually say that you like corn, you really gotta. I like corn. I like the taste of corn. Some butter on that shit.
It's so good.
Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt, but I feel your strife. Go ahead.
Yeah, like, and my sister, she's here, she can attest to this. Like when we were kids and you have that classic, plastic Tupperware bowl for popcorn when you're watching TV or a movie at night, I would ask my mom to fill it with minute rice and corn, and I would just eat that. I mean, I gained a lot of weight. Don't do it. But it was like, it's so comforting to me. Corn and rice is just a thing. When I went to college and I had like zero money and I was just, earning my way through college, it was corn and rice. Rice and peas, rice and hot dogs. Like that was, it's just like the go-to food for me. But corn, corn on the cob, it's so delicious. And I'll eat corn straight out of the can. Like when I worked at the grocery store and like, I need to eat something, I would literally buy a can of corn, crack that bad boy open, and eat it. Like I love corn. Put it on everything.
You have gone up
So
an entire,
good.
like normally this is like a year in the making for people to do this, but you just went from here to up here.
Yeah, that corn conversation.
Eating corn right out of the can, like that's gangster. Like I would, if I saw you doing that, I'd be like, I'd walk to the other side of the street
and be like, she's too
because
much.
she's doing that. Imagine what she would do to somebody she doesn't like.
Yeah.
I just love it. I think it's not the healthiest for you. It's mostly sugar, but
Good.
it's just like, just sweet little crunchy kernels of greatness. And I'm just, put that on everything. I love it.
Yeah, 70s, and she probably crushes the can on her forehead when she's done. She's like,
absolutely. 100%.
On that topic, what's hanging on the back of your door right now?
Well, let me just.
Yes!
There she is.
Corn costume.
There it is.
Oh man, and that wasn't planned. That just lives there.
Yeah, that's
it lives there. It's a great
perfect.
It's a great sound barrier. Oh, hold on, let me put this bad boy down.
Yeah, it looks pretty thick. Okay.
Yeah, it's a great sound barrier. It's a very comfortable costume as well. It gets very hot in there, but people questioned my love for corn, and I was like, I will show you. I will dress up as corn, and I will live my true life as a corn cup.
I love that. I absolutely love that.
You don't have to answer this question, but do you ever, when you're alone, use it as a onesie and just cuddle up inside the cob?
I actually don't. I own many onesies, and
okay, that makes sense.
It's very like, there's a brand called Kigurumi or something, and they have like, I have a unicorn one, I have like a red panda one, and I love a good onesie. Onesies I live for, but I get so hot so quickly in them that I'm just like sweating, and I'm like, this is a bad idea. So the corn stays on the door.
I get it.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we have a question in chat here, and I think that it is solid because it is very related.
Okay. Your
obsession with corn. You love corn. You love eating corn. You love everything about corn. Yeah. But do you like the band Corn?
I don't. I had a I'm sorry whoever loves the band Corn. It's spelled with a K. I had a roommate in college, and she went through a bad breakup, bless her heart, but she played Corn nonstop when she had her breakup, and I was like, I'm here for you, but please turn that Corn off. Like I can't handle it. Yeah. So I can't get into it. I hear it and I'm just like taken back to that time, and I'm like, no, I can't be here.
So she's not a fan of pornography. I got it.
Okay. Fair.
There was another question that came through that I thought was amusing, but it's gone now because I don't remember.
Morningtons, is this 2020 onesie?
That's good. I like that.
I got a unicorn onesie for Christmas, and it's very difficult to take it off. I live for that onesie.
Yeah, so onesies, great. Especially working from home, all this restrictions. Live that onesie life.
You got to.
I hate when you have to go pee though. That's always the worst.
That's a struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then just like general getting out of it to live like a regular life is very difficult.
Yes, it is very difficult.
Sarah wants to know if you remember the creamed corn adventure. From Sarah, is the question.
I'm not sure if I saw that comment, and I don't recall an adventure. I do know that I loved creamed corn. Again, it's a variation of corn, so I'm gonna enjoy it. Except for candy corn, don't give me that shit. But creamed corn is delicious. I'm not sure what the adventure is though. I might have forgotten that one.
We need to know the adventure, Sarah. All right.
So Antonio is now calling me out on my baby bladder. So that's cool. I'm glad that came up in chat.
I do have a baby bladder. He pees a lot.
So this is from one of our friends overseas, and this is a question that is asked every single time we have somebody on. So I hope that you are sitting down. What is your favorite bridge?
bridge, like physical bridge
Yeah.
to cross.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
I know it's tough.
I really haven't been on many bridges that I can remember that I think are fancy. There's a bridge in Sudbury that has like a bunch of flags on it, and I remember when the first time I went to Sudbury and I drove onto that bridge, I was like, "Oh, I feel like I'm being like in like this is my like red carpet moment, and all these flags are for me." And I no idea what the bridge is called, but
And then you
it's a
pull
cool
up there and
bridge.
they're like, "Excuse me, ma'am, you need to pop your trunk." And you're like, "Oh my god, is this because I'm a celebrity?"
Do you follow me on Twitter? Oh my god.
Yeah. So perfect. That's a good answer, and we know that bridge, so that kind of helped us in
Yeah.
when you were describing which bridge it was.
Sarah, explain the story. Our babysitter always fed us creamed corn, and I refused to eat it, but Megan ate it. Literally
I take
sat
one
on the
for the
table
team.
for
Yeah.
hours, refusing to eat the corn, but she would do it.
I got you. Actually,
Cute.
reminding me of babysitters. We had many babysitters growing up. Single mother, love you. You were the best. But we had to have some babysitters, and there was one where I was faking sick. I was that child. I know, but I was faking sick from school. So she picked me up, took me to her place, and she had like a infant at the time, and she was like, okay, you're feeling sick, like what do you want, crackers, applesauce, blah blah. And I hate applesauce. I think that is the nastiest thing. It's just like a bruised apple
Yeah.
been melted. I think it's nasty,
And mushed together, like it's
Yeah.
brown. Like why is it
It is
brown?
rank.
I know.
Anyway, so I was like, crackers, and she's like, no, you're getting applesauce. And I was like, dang it. So she gives me this applesauce, and we're like, I was watching Blue's Clues. I was a child watching Blue's
solid.
Clues
Mhm.
with her like baby beside me, and she left the room to go do something. And I look at this applesauce, and I look at the baby, and I just hucked the applesauce across the room. And I started like complaining out loud. The babysitter comes back in the room, and she's like, what happened? And I was like, I can't remember the baby's name, but it's called Joe. I was like, Joe took my applesauce and hucked it across the room. And she's like, oh my God. And they gave me crackers. And I was like, I win this battle.
Yeah.
You won. That was well done.
And
Well,
from that
yeah.
day forward, that's how Meg chose to live her life.
If I
Chuck
don't
the
like something,
applesauce.
I
just
chuck it.
fuck it.
fuck it. Yeah.
Don't want it.
Now I know.
Let me preface that like I was a brat. As a child, I was an absolute brat. Like I said, I fought my sister. I owned everything. Everything was mine. Like
I definitely
a
didn't
brat.
get that from that story, so I'm glad that you clarified that.
I was a brat. Absolutely.
Awesome. That's a good answer.
What is your favorite mythological animal, and why is it a unicorn?
Hey,
Is the
I
question.
love a good. I mean, have you ever seen Last Unicorn? I hope so.
I haven't. Oh no, not another
So
one. to add
hold
to
on,
the
hold on,
list.
hold on. So Lala hasn't seen anything, so it's
Okay.
important that we
That's fair.
preface it with that
Thank you.
because she wasn't allowed to watch things other than Sopranos
I was oddly allowed to watch The
and
Sopranos.
some other really not appropriate shows as a child, but she wasn't allowed to watch anything,
Cartoons weren't appropriate.
and she was void
Oh.
of pop culture.
I was void of pop culture.
So,
So that's my legitimate answer. as to why.
anytime that you ask today, if have you guys seen?
I
The
haven't,
answer is probably no.
for me, but
For
yes
Lala.
for you.
Yeah, I've
Lola,
seen too much.
I absolutely can relate to that. Like, how many times on primetime has Super Dino been like
Yeah.
said something, and I'm like, I have no
Oh,
idea what that quote is from,
Oh.
and then he just like makes fun of me for it. Like, there's so many pop culture things that I have not seen, or that I just can't remember like the quotes
To
to,
put it
or like
together.
yeah, I just like
Yeah.
I'm like I don't know. I saw that movie when I was 10. I don't remember it. But there's a movie called The Last Unicorn,
Yeah.
and there's a beautiful song in it. Anyway, it is. I love a unicorn. That's where I was going with that.
Can I watch it with my kiddo? Is it like kid
100%.
appropriate?
Yeah.
All right, we're
It,
watching.
no,
Last
it's
Unicorn.
like this beautiful like cartoon, animated
Yeah.
movie about like the last unicorn on Earth, and it's like really sweet. It's great. It's great.
Oh my gosh. I need this.
And just so everybody's aware, we did just hit exclamation pop number 405.
Is it 405?
Yes. So
That's
exclamation
too
pop is
much.
when Lala doesn't get a pop culture reference. And
405.
we just hit
Oh,
405.
no.
Yeah.
That's not embarrassing. That's fine.
Okay.
What is your favorite mug, and what's the story behind that mug?
Oh, a mug. I love a
Mhm.
good mug. I have many mugs, and a lot of them are Christmas themed, so I try not to bring those out when it's not Christmas. I'm sorry. but I have a favorite mug that is absolutely atrocious looking. It was from like a vintage thrift store, and I was going through like a long time ago, and I was going through like a really bad breakup, and like I was really sad and like crying all the time, and my mom took me to go like thrift shopping, vintage shopping, and we saw this mug, and it is like it's a handmade mug, and the front of it is just this guy's face with like these big giant eyes and these two buck teeth, and it's like it comes out of the mug, so it's like 3D. Like it is so gross looking. But I remember like I said, I was so sad. And we're walking through and I see this mug and I just start cry laughing. So my mom bought it for me because she's like, this will make you happy because you're sad right now. So and I've had it ever since. It is such a small mug that it actually has no like valuable use to it. But it just like I look at it and I'm like, I love you. Like this is a great mug.
I need a picture of this mug.
Yeah, I think so too. I think my favorite part of this story is Sarah's reactions to it.
Yeah.
All in caps. No, I hate that mug.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare.
Scary. Like you see it at night and you're like, whoa. But it's
Oh shit!
Oh. Give me.
Can't drink hot chocolate too late at night.
No, you
Fuck
can't.
yourself up.
No, you will. Can't go in the cupboard.
Terrific. Yes, we do need to see this mug.
That's so
Said mug
entertaining.
needs to be seen.
Yeah.
I will absolutely tweet out a photo. I'm currently doing house renovations right now. So my house is a construction zone. So like all the kitchen things are in the basement. So I have to like dig through to find stuff. So I'll find it.
Beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful. I cannot wait.
Whew.
I will become that guy that's like, hey, you got the mug yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
Show me the mug. Show me
Yeah.
the mug.
Where is it?
So that's sweet about the Warframe updates there, Meg, but
Where's the mug?
where's the mug?
Yeah.
Where's the mug? I don't care about anything else. Where's the mug?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quit Warframe, by the way, because you didn't show the mug.
Hashtag show mug.
Can you sing?
Oh.
Oh God, no. Oh no.
Okay.
She's a
I mean,
well-known
I have the
princess.
classic like I feel like I can sing, but if I were ever to like listen back to me singing, I'd be like, oh, burn it with fire. Like that's not good.
Okay, so I won't follow up with the rest of that question then.
No.
So generally, we ask every. So I am a musician, and we've asked everybody who comes on. It turned into a thing. Like
it is a thing, yeah.
whether or not people actually go. Only one person has actually taken me up on it.
Yeah.
But which is Utico. I have a
Yeah.
song with Utico.
Oh.
I did, yeah.
But we would have offered you to be on one of my songs.
Yeah, a feature.
Oh.
A feature.
I
on
mean,
the
I
album,
could be
yeah.
like, I could be a background noise. Like I can maybe pretend to be like a.
Or throw in some
You know?
She's
screams.
got a sick ass scream.
Yeah, you could
Maybe.
make a metal song.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'll rip my throat up for that. I'll do it.
Fuck
You
yeah.
can sing about corn, just like in a screaming
Oh.
way, like passionately. Corn.
Is there
There's
more
a-
corn?
Daniel the Demon actually did like a scream rap about corn, and I have it saved on my phone, and
God.
it is the greatest. Oh, it brings me joy.
Oh, I need to hear that.
Yes,
That
I also
sounds
need to hear this.
fantastic.
Terrific. Well, we'll definitely put that down in the book as no.
Anime. Anime is the next question up.
Is it?
What was your first anime? And did you have to start watching JoJo to understand all the references, or were you already up to date?
Well, I mean, it's like I don't know if people consider like is Pokemon an anime to some people. I would say Sailor Moon is an anime, but is Pokemon because I would say Pokemon was probably my first anime. I know you are both familiar with YTV. I watched a lot of Inuyasha on there. I've never seen a Dragon Ball episode in my entire life, other than like parodies or memes about it. So I know no references to that. But those are the first like animes, I guess. I watched a little bit of Bleach, not too much of that. Maybe
You've
a little
seen
bit of Naruto. But I didn't really get into anime until I was older,
Yeah.
and realized how amazing it was.
Mhm.
Obviously, My Hero Academia is an incredible anime, and I can't wait for March this year for the next season. It's gonna be great. I think some of my favorite animes. I need to catch up on Attack on Titan. It's weird because
Same.
like there's so many. Like I love the My Hero Academia. It's a little more like QT, but there's some really good battle scenes. And then Attack on Titan is like blood and gore and
Yeah.
naked zombies running around. They're
It's
so
so
aggressive.
good though. It's such a
It's so
good
good.
one.
The animation quality and just everything about that has gone like 0 to 100. Like it was amazing
Yeah.
season 1, but oh my god, some of the scenes now are incredible. I love Black Clover. I need to catch up on that. There's so many episodes. Demon Slayer is an all-time favorite. I
Yeah.
want to see the movie so bad. It's out in Japan. Obviously, it's not out here yet.
Oh.
New season's not out, but it's such a good anime.
Tokyo
Um,
Ghoul.
I've never seen Tokyo Ghoul.
Oh, I suggest.
I'll put it on the very long list. Speaking of JoJo, though, I've never seen a full JoJo episode. So the only JoJo references I understand are the ones that Reb says and then fills me in on what it means, because
Right.
I'm like, what is Muda 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 or whatever that is?
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea what that means. But she'll scream it and I'll be like, okay. Because I remember I saw a JoJo episode. It was like, I think it came up on a TV once, and I was like, oh, anime. And it was just the most obscure thing. It had the dude, I don't know, it might be JoJo, but the guy with like the chains around his neck, and he was like on a boat. He punched a guy in the face, and I was like, what? Like, where's the story? I'm so confused. So I've never watched a full JoJo episode, but I kind of do, mostly because I want to like understand what people are saying, but also like the art style of it, I'm obsessed with. Like, I see the actual mangas. I was at a manga store here in London over Christmas to get a gift, and I saw the mangas for it, and I was like, these are beautiful. Like, I love them, and I love the art style.
Yeah.
And but yeah, you look at an anime like One Piece, and you see how many seasons and how many episodes there are, and there's no way I can commit that much time. Like, I love animes that are just starting out. Like, God of High School was a new anime last year, and it is incredible, and it was like a brand new anime, so I felt like I'm in the know. Like, I know how to catch up on
Yeah,
everything.
I did the same with One Punch Man when it came out. I was like, I am on the leading edge of this.
Yeah.
And you can also like binge watch that and watch the entire season in, I think, 5 hours. So if you have 5 hours to spare, you can see all of One Punch Man.
You have to. What about the staples? Cowboy Bebop, and I think Dragon Ball Z is considered a staple now.
Never seen those.
No.
Never.
Cowboy Bebop, you have to.
That's one that a lot of people are like, just watch it. Like,
It's a classic. It's just perfect. It's perfect, and it's short, and the music is incredible.
I need to see that.
Yeah, Cowboy Bebop is like in my top 3 anime.
Oh wow, that's high regard.
Yeah.
Death Note is my fave. So
I really like the short ones. The ones that are compact. You get through them, and you can watch them multiple times.
300 episodes is too much for me. Can't do it.
It is a lot, and that's why I feel ahead of the curve, because like I've watched My Hero Academia like even more than once. Like, I'm just obsessed with it. But there's a part of me that's like, sad that I have to wait for episodes. Like, I love finding an anime and being able to just binge it and like just watch it one after the other. But My Hero, I'm sitting here like dying inside. I'm like, please just give me an episode.
Now here's the real diehard question: do you watch subbed or dubbed?
I am a subbed.
Atta girl.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with dubbed. It's so much obviously easier to watch.
Yeah.
You don't have to you can look away. You can do other things, and it's still happening. But I love, the classic Japanese voices. I think it fits. I think I watched Violet Evergarden on Netflix, and that was dubbed. I didn't know there was a subbed option, so I just like clicked it and it was subbed, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And that's one I've watched subbed, but all the other ones subbed all the way. Sorry.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty. There's something about the original soundtrack, the emotion and what they actually intended on portraying through the acting that doesn't always get translated well into English when they do the dubs.
Right. Yeah, I remember actually watching a video of the English Ash Ketchum voice actress doing a scene where she was, dubbing over it, and there were words that obviously we translate to English differently. So you're not that you're missing out hugely on what they're saying, but there is a difference in what they're saying, and you can even kind of hear that when you're watching dubbed. But I just love
the intensity.
Yeah, and I think subbed. I also feel like I'm like learning Japanese while I'm watching it. Like, that's how I kind of learned what Nani was, and oh my god, Baka. From My Hero Academia, I learned Baka.
That's awesome.
It's actually one of the major ways to learn a new language is to watch things that are subbed. Yep,
100%.
And it's always fun to like use the dialect, but say stuff in English too. I like copy like the sound. I'm an audio guy, so I'm like, I want some more juice.
Yeah. All right. Okay. On to the next random topic of conversation. What kind of Among Us imposter player are you? Are you the murder spree? Or are you the kind who gets others to turn on each other? Or are you like me, who hides in corners and lets the other imposter do all the work?
I am so bad at Among Us.
Yeah.
I've played it. We had a really fun play session with some Warframe creators like Mia, No
Yeah.
Sympathy, Aliak, a bunch of them were there.
Yeah.
Reb was there, Pablo, and it was so fun.
Yeah.
But I truly, truly don't understand the map. So even if I'm not the imposter and people are like, Megan, where were you? And I was like, I don't know. And they're like, she did it. She's the imposter. And I'm like, no, I just literally don't know where I am. Like, I can't figure it. And like, then people were like, Megan, just have the map on a separate screen. And I was like, wow, that's actually pretty brilliant. And I'm embarrassed I didn't think of that. But I just like, I don't understand like where I am. I know I have to do tasks, but the one thing I also can't do very well is like remember what the tasks are, especially if I'm an imposter and like I'm, pretending to go and do a task or whatever. They're like, Megan, what task were you doing? I saw you in the office or whatever. And I'm like, oh, what was the office? Oh, what was the office? And then they're like, Megan, you're a murderer. And I was like, dang it.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's no way to play the game.
That's exactly how I play. I never know where I am or what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I think there was one play session and Lucas Schumann was there actually, and I was the imposter, and I think that might have been one of the first times I was the imposter. So I'm running around trying to figure out exactly how to do it. And I was like, oh, a vent. I can go into this vent. And he was standing right there. And I went into it and I was like, I feel like that was a bad thing. And then he called the emergency meeting. He's like, Megan? And I was like, yes. What's up? He's like, I saw you in a vent. And I was like, is that a bad thing?
Is that not normal behavior for everybody?
Yeah, everybody
you can't
vents.
do that?
Everybody vents.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Everybody vents.
Well, yeah, and you're just a bad liar in general when
I
you
can't
play.
lie.
Like the last
No.
time you played it, and they were like, Lala, I watched you kill him. She's like, why would I do that?
It was. I also played with a bunch of Warframe creators. They invited me, and I think it was DK, and he saw me, and I was like, no, that wasn't me. And he's like, you're lying, and I'm like, I would never.
I'm not lying.
I don't know how.
Yeah, it's. I also get like really anxious. I'm like, oh my god, they know it's me. How do I lie and try to trick these people? There was one, I think it was Shy and we were the imposters, and we ended up winning. And I was like, oh my god, if I can win with Shy, I am absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
All right. So now we know your murder style in Among Us, which is super important.
Yeah. So when we play, if we ever play.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Taking notes.
Yeah.
These questions are incredible. I like the order that they were given in the spreadsheet because they're just everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
The next question is, where's the toilet on the orbiter? Like, can we talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, where do they go? Is there
Yeah.
just like a
What do we do?
what do you call it? Like the Austin Powers space vacuum that just shoots it out?
It's weird. Like, do Warframes poop? No. But the operators poop.
Right.
They have to poop.
I
Or
mean-
maybe they don't poop.
Maybe the toilet is the place where the operators are sitting. Maybe it's like a commode. Like it's
Maybe
just-
they wear bags
Or
that they throw out into space on their way to a planet.
we all need to know. This is the number one question.
Meg, what is it? Is it bags of poop that they throw into space on their way to the next planet?
What is the answer?
I mean, have we ever seen a Warframe drink or eat?
That's a great point.
But maybe they do it when we shut down our PlayStations.
But they
They just start eating.
Yeah. Fuck. Great. Good. They're gone.
gone. God, finally. But you see, they create dirt. Obviously, there are Roombas.
Yeah.
So they're dirty.
They are dirty.
I guess they
Fair
are.
point.
they're
But
going
that's
out in
that's coming
space.
from
space dirt.
space dirt. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. And
Space
blood
dirt and murder. Yeah,
Yeah.
it gets a
Space
little
dirt,
dirty.
yeah.
Murder dirt. Yeah.
Murder dirt.
Obviously.
Murder.
What do you think about the Cedo? People want to know.
Ooh, actually, I haven't got it yet. I got Labos. Actually, someone gifted it to me. Thank you, bless you, whoever did that. I appreciate it.
Aw.
But I don't have the CD yet. Yesterday on home time we were playing the operation so I could get some more face excels. But it's like, I really want to use it for the arcanes because that's something I really need to focus on. So I don't have the CD yet, but I will definitely be getting it after the operation when it concludes and we put it somewhere else. So I'll be doing that for sure. I'm like, my arcanes. I need better arcanes.
No arcanes.
Nice.
So you don't get day one access?
No, I mean everything that comes out, we earn ourselves.
You
Other
grind
than
for it.
like, there's some Prime accesses that I just need to buy, like a Naros Prime. Like I
Oh.
just needed that now,
Yeah.
and like
Needed it.
that's an obvious thing that was gonna
Yeah.
happen. But yeah, everything
Oh.
everything else we earn on our own through playing the game, obviously. And then obviously there's super kind people out there that feel like they gift it to me, which they do not ever need to do. You don't have to do that. It's always appreciated and loved. But
Yeah.
yeah, we get everything ourselves.
Wow.
That's pretty. I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah.
That's really, really cool.
Now I feel like I should give up my day one access and to be cool, like
I feel that
I'm
way
not
as well,
going
even
to.
though I wouldn't.
I won't.
Yeah,
No.
I
I
definitely
mean-
would not do that.
I'm not gonna do it. No.
I mean, like, I'm not mastery rank 30 because I am slow.
Yeah.
I'm slow too. I'm pretty slow. How long have you? So did you start playing Warframe in 2013 when you joined the team? And there was a question in here on how you came about to even joining DE.
Yeah, so I was working, I worked at a grocery store for, I think, about 6 years. Like, I worked there in high school, worked there in college, and I became mutual friends with Rebecca. So 2013, became really good friends with Reb, and just through hanging out, she realized that, like, oh, this girl's a nerd and like she likes games. Like, I think at that time I had my Zelda tattoo. Not that that was anything to do with me getting a job, but it was very clear that like I was a nerd and whatnot. And Warframe was, starting out, getting really big in 2013. And she reached out to me on Facebook and just sent me a message. I still have that message, saved away, screenshotted of her being like, hey, do you think you'd be interested in working at DE? And I remember times where, I'd ask Rebecca if she wanted to hang out that weekend or whatever, and she'd be like, "Oh no, actually, I have to go to Gamescom in Germany," or like she has to do something that's like super cool. So when she asked me if I wanted to work at DE, I was like, yes, like that's
to go to
the
Germany?
greatest. Yeah, can I go? And I was like, this is a dream job. Like, I think, especially 2013, growing up as like a gamer or whatever, you get the classic, you can't make a job out of games. You're wasting your life in this basement playing games that that's not something that can sustain you or whatever. So I always had that in the back of my head. So I never
like,
really.
I'm not in my basement. I'm in my living room.
Exactly. I'm a grown up.
Yeah.
So I never really even thought about that
Sarah,
as a career.
Looking at you, Mom.
Yeah. No,
I'll be
sweet
right
soul
back.
mom. She wants her kids to be successful. So you look at games and you're like, that's not probably very, a career that you can really take off in or something. So totally understandable. But being a nerd and then having Rev reach out to me and offer me the position, and I had to go through the interview process and all that, but I got the job and I was ecstatic. I was so excited. It was all new for me. The only really forums that I had taken a part of were like the Zelda forums, and I was just more like a lurker and a creeper. I did go to school for marketing, so I had a little bit of a background there in terms of any kind of marketing things that I needed to do. But doing Warframe forums and like streaming and stuff like that, all new to me. So I was very rough at the beginning. Reb truly took me under her wing and, built me up to who I am, built my confidence, my knowledge, taught me everything I know. I thank Reb for, and she is literally one of the greatest human beings I've ever met. And she will take time out of her day, even if she's worked, an 8-hour day, she'll take time out of her day to help you with something or teach you something. I talked to her about how I'm bad at math and how I want math to be something that I'm stronger at, because I want to understand the math of Warframe. There's a lot of math in Warframe, and I literally struggle to understand it. And I try to not come off as not knowing something, because my role is knowing things about Warframe. So when there's something that I struggle with, I want to get better at it. So Reb and I, go back and forth about math and like learning why this is important, why this math works for this but not this or whatever. So I started off rough, but like it's almost 8 years now, and I'm in a great place now, and Reb has been there ever since, and she is just the wind beneath my wings.
Aww.
That's amazing.
That's really sweet. That's really, really sweet. I had this question. I've been wondering. So do you play Warframe outside of work time? Like, do you get together and you're like, hey, do you want to go on a voice chat and play some Warframe? Or is it like during work hours and you're like, we're just solo grinding? Like, how does it play out? Where do you spend your time?
Everyone's definitely a bit different. Me personally, I do play Warframe outside of hours. I've streamed some of it actually on my little, very, very casual Twitch channel. I'll play Warframe. I'll even, not stream it and play it. It's a mix of I want to play it, and a mix of, I need to get ready for my Monday stream, or there's something I need to get better at. I play a lot of it during work hours. That's important as well. I play a lot of it not even the public build, but the test build for things that are
Yeah.
coming out. As I'm writing the patch notes, I'm also playing our test build and trying to figure out why this works the way it is, why we're adding it, and just being able to be able to write it in the patch notes correctly. I need to learn what it is. So it's a mix of, I play public, I play the test build. I have my PC account, I have my Xbox account. So I have a lot of things going on, and I need to stay on top of it. So I do play it outside of work, as well as inside of work. In terms of, squatting up with people, that mostly happens during work hours because like everyone's online, that they're there and they can help you out. We have our amazing community QA team that is just ready to help us with anything because they're constantly, playing the game or whatever. So they're amazing for jumping in and helping out. We obviously have our primetime clan. So we have like a little Slack channel where we're like Red posted in it. She's like, guys, let's get gold in Operation Orphix Venom. Let's do it. So like everyone squatted up and like went out to play and it was great. But for me, mostly outside of work, I'll just join a public mission or people will see that I'm online and they'll whisper me, they'll be like, do you want to do this or do you need help with something? And I'm like, yeah, let's play this. So it's a lot of outside of work. I'll just play with whoever's online and whoever wants to play. I always see Digressive online or Travis Teaspoon, so appreciate them greatly for helping me out. So
that's so sweet. Do you enjoy it more when you're doing it at work or when you're doing it on your own?
It's really the same. Like I think outside of work, you don't have like work is not a distraction, but I'm working and playing at the same time. So there's so many times where I'll be, playing Warframe, let's say on the public build during my work hours, and I'll play, like even yesterday, I played Sanctuary Onslaught to rank up some stuff, and I was with just a random public crew and like, oh, thanks for playing. And they're like, do you want to go again? And I was like, oh, I have to like get back to work. So they're always, I always feel bad saying that, but like, I'm also working, I'm reading all my messages. I'm keeping up with what everyone is saying in all the channels. So there is that like, constant need for attention. Whereas after work, it's just Warframe, maybe I have a fun YouTube video up or something on the other screen and I'm kind of just like really casual and comfortable there. So it just depends on, what I'm feeling.
Nice.
You stream under DE Megan on Twitch?
I do, yeah. Right. I have a very, very casual, nothing professional at all. I was playing, I play Warframe. I've been playing Genshin Impact lately because I'm obsessed with all the waifus. I love them. Nice. I just got the new, I will say new, but the Scott Pilgrim re-release game. Picked that up yesterday, obviously, and I want to stream that too. So I'm very excited.
Oh, do you have a regular schedule? I'd love to see you play that game.
I feel bad, but I don't. It's definitely more a weekend thing because usually after work, eat dinner, workout, shower. Oh, it's 9 p.m. going to bed. So very much like that. So it's usually like a weekend thing. Right now it's kind of crazy because, like I said, I'm renovating the house, so it's like loud noises all the time and sweaty. And I was like, I'm not gonna play today.
What? Who's the number one waifu?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. So right now it's Mona. She is just, oh God, she's beautiful. And I am embarrassed to say, but I ordered a Mona cosplay not too long ago. Yay! It's gonna take like 3 months to get here, but I bought it on a whim, and then I looked at myself and I'm like, Megan, what are you doing? But I'm kind of excited about it.
Well, now I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Where will you wear it? Will it just be like a fashion show, like a photo shoot?
Or like I'll just put it on and like take some photos of it, or whatever. It'll be very like just me in my room or something. Like it's also not an outfit that you can like sit in. Like it's like you stand kind of thing. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that'll be amazing.
I'm looking forward to that. That's awesome. Alrighty.
How are we doing on the questions? How are you feeling, Meg?
Yeah.
I'm feeling great. I love that this thermos is keeping my coffee very hot, so I appreciate that.
Nice.
Good. Do you have any questions? Like before we like inundate you with more questions.
Yeah, was there anything that you would like to discuss or know or anything about I know you recently found out that we're in Guelph, so that's neat. We're like neighbors.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't ask people where they live. That's not like my first question when I meet people. Like, where you live?
It was valid though. She asked because of the time zone.
The time zone.
So I was like, yeah, we're in Guelph. 45 minutes away.
I was like, when you asked to, just have like a casual call to make sure that everything was all set up, I'm like, oh, if your time zone's really bad, I don't want to do it after prime time. Anyways, but yeah, so knowing you're in Guelph is super cool. Have you guys been to London? Maybe outside of Warframe things, but like, have you been to London before?
Oh, many times, yeah.
Yeah, the most.
I used to
recent
go
though
see
was-
shows there all the time.
Yeah,
At the Labatt Center.
Yeah.
Oh, Budweiser Gardens.
That's it. Yeah, sorry. It's all right. I did change the name.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, I was back when they were doing like Gigantour and a bunch of big bands. I went to London and I went there. But we were at Tennocon.
2019. That was pretty
2019.
fantastic.
Right.
That was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. I mean, London isn't exactly the most exciting place in the area. Obviously, a lot of people go to Toronto for that scene. I mean,
Yeah.
not right now because you can't go anywhere right now. But everyone, and that's kind of the hard part about finding or like hiring for DE, especially when we had a physical office to go to.
Yeah.
Is that a lot of people in London want to leave London. So if you take programming courses in London, you want to go where the big dogs are, or like where it's really busy. So Toronto, Montreal, and stuff like that. So it's really hard to actually hire within London, Ontario, because everyone wants to leave. And I get it. Like, it's not the most exciting town in the world.
Well, I'm not going to lie. In the event that Warframe and DE would like to hire some more community people, I would be willing to
throw
commute.
your hat in that ring. You would commute to London?
I would commute to London to do that, yes.
It's only 45 minutes.
Well, and
Hey, that's not bad at all.
no, I would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, that would
that's
be
like
pretty freaking cool.
couple banger songs and you're there.
There you go,
You're
yeah.
basically there. You listen to a podcast?
I would,
Yeah.
No, banger song sounds
Banger
good.
songs. I
That's
like
like
banger
sausages, right?
Bangers and mash.
Bangers and mash.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, do you have any questions for us before we inundate you
Give
again?
us more, yeah.
No, hit me with all the questions. I'm
All right,
ready.
let's do it. All right,
Let's do it.
we'll pick a hard-hitting one here. When is the creator program going to be? That's not even up your alley, I don't think.
No, I do. You don't. When it's going to be available again? I'm pretty sure the answer to that is like sometime after the holidays.
That's Ask Taylor, I think, is the answer to that.
Ask Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor's the
things.
know-all for our awesome creator program, and we kind of closed the applications for the holiday break, and now we're all back. So once we kind of sit down and get everything going, it'll be soon. Yeah.
So that there was that. All right, let me find something else here. Would you be sad if they took away "I Need a Weapon"?
I mean, I don't think I'd be sad. Like, I understand the need to update, the quality of the game, and that was recorded so long ago. But I mean, I think it still holds up, and it makes me laugh whenever if I'm watching, a Warframe stream and they're doing that, and I'm, working at the same time, and I hear it in my headphones, and I'm like looking around. I was like, why did that sound so familiar? I'm like, God damn it, it's me. But I kind of love that it's turned into what it is now. Like, I get like that has been around forever, and like it's kind of been known that that's me that does it. But now it's like a joke, and I actually do love it. I love it a lot.
So the answer is you would be upset.
Yeah, it needs to be.
I would be a little sad, but I would be understanding of the reasoning.
That's good. That's very diplomatic. Very diplomatic.
I'm Canadian. What can I say?
Yeah, that's true. Well, no, I wouldn't be too happy about that. But I mean, if they gotta do what they gotta do,
Yeah, exactly.
Do you play Fortnite? And will there ever be a possibility?
I can control.
I can
Warframe.
control a Warframe while on Fortnite Island. Warframes in Fortnite is the question.
I have never played Fortnite in my life. Fortnite is a game, even like Call of Duty and those type of games that I just watch. I'm very much a lurker, especially in like those competitive games. I think they're more for me, and they're more entertaining to watch than to play. So I've never played it. I do love like, I won't call it cartoony, but like that style that Fortnite is. It's very like fun to see. I love all the skins and like, gliders you can have. Obviously Fashion Frame comes to play there, but I've never played it, and I'm gonna say I doubt that Warframe will ever be in it.
So there you have it. But I bet you said the exact same thing about Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that was
right.
Freaking cool.
That was crazy to see, and like even just being on the Nintendo Switch, like I still remember that launch, and just, as developers knowing that we were working towards being on the Nintendo Switch, I was like, oh my God, I am like 1 degree closer to Miyamoto. Like, this is my dream. It's happening.
That's awesome.
It's gonna happen. Okay. I would like to know, let's talk about the very relevant topic of our current state of affairs in lockdown.
Yes, let's discuss our recent transition into a state of emergency.
What do you, so this is the second one that we're in now. What do you do to stay healthy and happy while in a state of emergency?
Yeah, I mean, I touched on it a little bit where I'm very much a homebody.
Mhm.
You know, I love seeing my friends. You know, I miss my friends a lot. We do a lot of we like for New Year's we did a Zoom call and
Mhm.
cheers, watch the ball drop kind of thing, and like that's super fun. I do definitely miss physically hanging out with people, going to the movies, like all that jazz. I think everyone can agree that they miss some part of that in their lives. But I am very much a homebody. I love just chilling out, watching TV, watching sports. I'm a
Yes.
huge hockey fan. I'm a
Oh,
huge
yes.
basketball fan. Like I
Right.
love watching sports. I grew up my dad watching the Maple Leafs games religiously and screaming at the TV. Like that's a great memory for me. So I'm very much a homebody. And when the first lockdown happened last year in March, I definitely realized that I needed to stop. And it was hard because I am on social media, but I needed to stop watching the news or
Yeah.
like constantly because at the beginning you didn't really know how long it was going to last, and I was just literally on my couch with my laptop. The news was going and I'm working on my laptop thinking this isn't going to last for too long and
Yeah.
I don't need to like have an entire setup like I do.
Yeah.
And then as the days go by you're like, oh, okay, maybe I need to invest in some better equipment. And actually
Yeah.
a lot of what I'm using right now is from work. They let everyone, if they needed to,
Oh,
bring their
amazing.
workstations.
Um,
Obviously, not like the desk or anything, but like the monitors, the computer itself. This is a work chair. Like they were like,
nice.
whatever you need to work from home, if it's in the office, you can take it. They keep track of it, obviously.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And that was
That
a
is
huge
awesome.
help.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was super thankful for that because I had zero setup here to be able to work from home efficiently other than having a laptop.
Yeah.
So I definitely, upgraded and now I have this great setup, very comfortable, very appreciative of it.
Yeah.
And, it was kind of difficult at first just because I used the time of, when I'm in the office and I'm done work and I'm driving home, I use that, whatever time frame to kind of de-stress, listen to some music and just kind of get my thoughts out, get
Mhm.
home, and then I'm like ready to be my homebody, make some dinner, do whatever. But now I don't have that. Now it's
Yeah.
like I'm in my little office, I open the door and there's my house. Like I'm already
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
have that de-stress time. So it was a little challenging at first to just kind of not feel kind of smothered by it all and
Mhm.
to try and figure out how to de-stress a little bit. I took up in the summertime last year. I am not a cardio person. I hate running. I do not want to run
I hear
ever
you.
in my life.
I think I saw those
Um,
pictures on Twitter of you keeled over.
yeah, oh my god. Like I go down the stairs and I'm winded. And it's not like I'm out of shape. I just like my cardio sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I started actually not necessarily running, but I would do hill sprints in the woods. So I would go. There's like London has a whole bunch of woods and
Yeah.
like trails or
Yeah.
whatever, and I started doing that, and that was really good for me. It got me outside. It got me, athletic and running and stuff like that. And then I hurt myself, which was really sad. I hurt my foot. I got plantar fasciitis and
Oh.
couldn't walk or run for like months after that. It
Oh.
was kind of brutal. Um, One thing I do regret though, and now that we're in lockdown too, I'm gonna try and be better at, but I didn't really like find myself a hobby. I was very comfortable just working and then watching a movie, watching TV,
Yeah.
making
Yeah.
dinner, working out, going to bed. Like I was very comfortable with that schedule.
Yeah.
And then I realized a year has passed and like people would ask like, "Oh, did you start anything? Did you learn a new language? Did you?" And you don't have to do that. I'm not saying that that's something you should be doing, but for me, I love learning something new. Like I tried to teach myself sign language. I was really good at it for a bit, and then I stopped, and I'm not so good at it anymore. Um, but I realized that like I definitely have the room in my life to pick up a hobby. Be that I bought a knitting kit, so like I might try some knitting, might knit a sweater, like just
Love it.
like random things. Obviously, like picking up new games is really fun. Animal Crossing was one that got me through the beginning of lockdown.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah, that was so
Mm.
good for me. And all my friends, or not all my friends, but a good chunk of my friends were playing it. And we had like our own little conversation about turnips. And like that was really fun. But so, lockdown number two, I want to try to, just branch out a little bit, try
Mm.
something new. Even if I don't like it, at least I tried something new.
Yeah.
I
But
think
I've
a
been
lot.
really,
Sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, I've been really strict with like my exercise. am feeling really great. And even if, even if I still see the comments about I don't look great, I feel great, and I don't care what you say.
Yeah, no, Meg, honestly, and that makes sense after, like you said, your foot, you hurt your foot, and you had the plantar fasciitis.
Yeah, that word.
And yeah, like hearing that, and then I mean, inevitably, like we all put weight on, and I'm perfectly healthy. So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
to
it's
hurt yourself
healthy,
and that
right?
happen, like honestly, I hate that shit, and good on
Yeah,
you for
good for you.
for turning your cheek to that, because that is totally unacceptable, and but I guess it's to be expected when you're in the limelight. Now, one thing that I don't think people realize with this whole lockdown thing, and what you just described fully, was that you have to have a new sense of self discipline.
Oh yeah.
Because you're no longer in that car, which gave you the break between. You're no longer held to a schedule, so to speak. You kind of have to find your own routine. And I find it, like with us, especially over the winter, because we had taken time off, we did the exact same thing. So we would get up, we would do an ounce of work, and then we would sit on the couch and play video games. And it got to a point where we're like, is this really what we should be doing with our lives? Like, I feel like there should be something more that we're doing. So I totally understand you on that front. And it has completely altered how people look at the work schedule, especially being at home.
Yeah.
Because walking into the next room, you're like, well, then I'll just work another extra half hour.
Right. Like my office is here. So what's stopping me from, working longer or just coming back to it or whatnot? So yeah, the self-discipline of, getting into a comfortable rhythm, but also a healthy rhythm, I think is very different. So the self-discipline to, stick to a schedule and do things that are going to benefit you. Like if it is exercise, great, do that.
Yeah.
And don't feel bad if you fall off the train a little bit. Like there's going to be ups and downs absolutely during this. You can't control that. So
But yeah, no, it's interesting. It's not something we're really taught growing up, is how to be self-disciplined, like put in a situation where we have to regulate everything we're doing to make sure we're doing it properly.
Yeah.
We were not taught that growing up.
Not
so it's interesting falling into that trap once you're like, freedom! I can do whatever I want!
That's what it was like the first time.
Yeah, and
I
then you
was
realize,
ate
you're like, no,
everything.
I'm really like destroying my body and my mental health, and so yeah, it's interesting that you brought that up.
Yeah, and when we were in the office, we had very easy access to a gym. So I would, go there during the lunch hour and, do something at least. And that made me feel good about it. And then as soon as lockdown happened, it was like, even though gyms were kind of open for a little bit, I was like, no, like that's not where I want to go during this time. So there was a while there where I didn't do anything. And I'm like, all right, I kind of feel like poo-poo. So I'm going to kick my butt a little bit and invest in. And like, I think everyone in the world was also like, I got to buy home gym stuff. So that was really hard to get a hold of. And that was stressful, but you just kind of got to take it as it comes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Here's a slightly related question. It's a little more serious. What piece or pieces of advice would you give to kids or teens today? What are your least favorite aspects of the positive health changes you've been pursuing, and how have you overcome them?
Teens. I mean, I think about this all the time. Again, being on social media, is how easily accessible social media is for literally anyone. Like if I look back on my life when I was a teenager, like literally we were in the age group where Facebook started, and like it was not there, and then it was suddenly there, and it was not what it is today. It was totally different. And Instagram wasn't a thing until it was. And I just like I think about when eventually I do have kids, and like how I'm gonna try and like guard them from social media and try to limit that, because it really is scary. So for teens now, I mean, it's so easy to just, especially because we're stuck at home, to just open your phone or open your computer and just scroll through social media endlessly. And I did watch the Social Dilemma movie
Netflix,
documentary. I did watch that. And for me, it was different because social media is also my job. So I can't just like get rid of it all and like, disappear. But I did definitely change how I interacted with it after work. So I have on my phone a time limit. I can only be on Twitter, Instagram, or all the social medias for an hour, and then it will be like, your hour's up, and then you're like, okay, phone down, like I don't need to be scrolling through this. So I think definitely making boundaries with social media as a teenager is really important because you can just get in a trap of the endless scrolling and the comparisons, and it really affects you even if you don't think it does. Like, I didn't think it affected me until I took a step back and realized how much it was making me sad about myself, right?
Yeah.
Or anxious, or what do people think, or how come there are only 10 people who liked my post,
Or why am I not as happy as that person looks?
Yeah.
That one
Right.
always got me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you said, our age range, like Facebook didn't exist till I was in college.
Yeah.
And at that point I was like, oh, that's kind of a neat thing to connect people, but it's interesting to see people who live on Facebook or live on Twitter, or like, and you can tell that it's all that they do.
Or people who were born into it.
Or people, well, and that's it. It's such a natural thing now
Yeah,
that, like, if you're growing up or you're a teenager, you got to get social media.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's how you're going to connect with your friends, and that's how you're going to be cool. And it really is, it's upsetting and it's scary. You're absolutely right. And having a daughter
Yeah.
who is entering into coming close to teen years,
Yeah.
I'm scared shitless.
At the same time, online communities have saved lives, have given us purpose again, have increased our mental health tenfold, and it allows kids to communicate during COVID, which has been essential.
Yeah.
But it's like it's a really thin line. And it's risky.
But we did the same thing. Like, we removed our. So Lala doesn't even have.
I got rid of all of
Facebook.
It
She doesn't use any social media.
Totally changed my life.
The only time I use it now is for Angry Unicorn.
Yeah.
Or the Twitter and Instagram and all that, and my music. And other than that, I don't see the value of reading other people's dirty laundry or sifting through things that really don't pertain to me whatsoever.
It's a struggle though, not knowing. Like knowing that you could know and then not choosing not to know. That can be a struggle.
Yeah, and I've told this story before, but like I said, when Facebook was a thing, it was really weird and different than what it is now. But I was in high school when it came out, and I remember there was an add-on or whatever to Facebook. It's called the honesty box, and you could have people who follow you on Facebook put something in your honesty box, and you would never know who it was. And I remember I had it, and somebody said that I always had chapped lips, and I am now 29 years old, and I am obsessed with lip chap because of that comment. Like, one anonymous comment,
it changes everything.
Changed my entire life of always having lip chap in every single room and every pocket of every coat. Like, I have lip chap all over this house, and it's like because of that comment. Obviously, chapped lips means you're dehydrated and you should probably be drinking some more water. But that comment literally rocked my world, and I'm 29, and I will never forget that comment.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's anonymity. Is that's the word on the internet is so scary, right? Like hiding behind a TV screen and just spewing out words is scary. It's very powerful and it's scary, and that's something that I'm trying to guard myself from, right?
But silver lining.
I was just gonna say
She's
silver
like,
lining.
my lips are supple as shit.
Yeah.
As you can see, no dry skin on these mothers.
Hydrated lips.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I mean, thanks, but also ouch. Like,
yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, you do live in Canada, and winters here suck.
Oh my god, it is dry.
Yeah, every Canadian's got to get some dry lips once in a while.
I break out. Like, I get terrible acne from dry skin. And it happens every winter, and I look like a teenager.
Oh, I'm there with you, and it's like, I look at myself and I'm like, I'm 29 years old. Like, why do I have these, breakouts and this acne and stuff like that? And again, like, I'm comparing myself to what I see on the internet of other 29-year-olds not looking the way I do and having beautiful, flawless skin. And it's like, okay, that is an unrealistic. They're only showing the good parts. And like, sometimes I try to hide mine, and it's like, no, like, screw it.
Yeah.
It got to a point. I was doing that when we had started Angry Unicorn, where I was like, every post that it was like, okay, we got to look perfect. If we don't look perfect, we delete it. We look stupid. And then it got to a point where I'm just like, people watch me every day. Yeah. And I make an ass of myself. Yeah. So who cares what, like, this is me, and I'm going to put myself out there. And that was liberating.
That was.
Because I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
But, the anonymity.
It's a hard word.
That's it. That's how you say
it. You're right. It's you never know. It turns it into like a who's who of saying what. Because obviously somebody or they know you. And then, it festers from there. And you're just like, God, I'm ugly. And I'm just like, how come I don't look like the person here? And so you're absolutely right. It is scary in that way.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
So the second half of this question was, what are your least favorite aspects of the positive health changes you've been pursuing, and how do you overcome some of those struggles?
Please say that one more time.
So what are some of your struggles so you're making a lot of positive health changes in your life. What are some of your struggles in that, and how do you overcome them?
Um, I definitely get stressed out just like thinking about all the things I need to do, even if they're good things for me, like the exercising, and eating healthier or whatever. So I get I'm a type of person where I plan out every single thing about my day. Like, okay, I'm gonna be done work at this time. That gives me this much time to do this and this and this.
Yeah.
And then I get stressed out about it. And sometimes I'll just, I won't do it because I'm like, oh, I just want to relax and I feel like I deserve to relax or whatever. So even though it is a positive thing for me, I, get very stressed out about things that I haven't even done yet. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking about doing them and I know they're good for me. And I end up doing them and then I feel better and I'm like, Megan, you're stupid. Like, don't think about that.
Yeah. But it's also like, and if you don't do them, I beat myself up when I don't do them.
Right, exactly. Especially, with exercising. There's times where I'm in the middle of an exercise and I know that like, this exercise I only have to do for 45 seconds and that's only 45 seconds of my entire life. Like I just got to get through it. And I try to apply that to my everyday life, right?
Yeah.
Like, work is just 8 hours of my entire life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just not, and I love my work. I'm not saying that I'm upset with the work I have to do. It's just, there's things that you plan in your day and you're like, oh, I don't really want to do that. But it is so small compared to everything you have going on.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely. This is an interesting question. Do you see Warframe as a hobby, work, or something else?
Good question.
Two coins, really. It is my work. It is, how I make a living. It is my job, but I also love the game, so it's a hobby as well. Like if I was working on a game that I didn't enjoy having to play, I would see it as work and not a hobby. I wouldn't want to play it after hours. I wouldn't want to stream it. I wouldn't want to talk about it after hours. But I truly, truly love Warframe. I love the community it's built. I love the devs behind it. I love, our aspirations and our goals, what we've accomplished, what we've even failed. Like you have to fail to succeed. And there's things that, went a little skewed for us, but we're learning from it. And it's 2021, new year, and we're just going to push forward with that. And we have a lot of exciting things planned. So Warframe for me, I am so grateful for the opportunity that Reb gave me to work on Warframe and the fact that it's the community behind it has continued to support it even through our downs and our lows. It truly is a hobby and just honestly a pleasure to play and to work on.
What a lovely answer.
Yeah, that was terrific.
That was perfect. Okay, we're going to loop back around to the hockey love. Do you have a framed jersey? And can you be considered Canadian if you don't have a framed jersey? This is important to me.
Well, I don't have a framed jersey. I do own a jersey. I have a Toronto Maple Leafs Mitch Marner jersey, and that might be a little bandwagon-y because he's, relatively new to the team. But like I said, I grew up with my dad always having the hockey game on and screaming at the TV. And Hockey Night in Canada, that anthem comes on and I am excited, like I'm pumped.
Yeah.
And I kind of made a joke last night on home time because I was wearing a Maple Leafs sweater that if you're a Habs fan, you weren't allowed. But I take it back. Like, I know there's the feud between Maple Leafs and Habs, but like you can be a fan of anything. I actually just bought a Connor McDavid Edmonton Oilers jersey today because
Oilers.
literally today because he is an incredible hockey player. And I was watching the Edmonton Oilers game last night and he just like literally blew my mind and I was like, you are the greatest. So like as a Canadian, it's almost like, you have to be a hockey fan, but you don't have to be, you don't have to have a framed jersey to be Canadian. You can not love sports at all. It's totally fine. It's just a very obviously Canadian sport. And there's sometimes where I'm watching hockey and I'm like, this is the most ridiculous thing. There are grown men on tiny, tiny little pieces of metal on an ice rink with a piece of wood in their hand fighting after a black puck. Like it's just so weird.
When you analyze it,
when you break it down,
it changes things a little bit. I gotta say, the fact that, like I'm imagining Megan wakes up in the morning. So she watches this hockey game last night. First thing she does when she wakes up, she's like, I need to order that fucking jersey.
Yeah.
That's like
Well,
why haven't I ordered this shit?
It's also a really like the reason I also love football. I love CFL, but I also love NFL sports. Love it. And the reason why the Baltimore Ravens are my team is because originally I picked them because they were purple and I loved their outfits. And I was obviously very young when I did this. I was like, I just love the way they look.
Yeah.
They look different than everybody else. I love purple. So I picked Baltimore Ravens and I've just loved them ever since. And now they're actually good, which is great. But I'm very much like, I'll invest in something if I like the way it looks. And obviously if I support it, obviously.
Yeah.
And this Edmonton Oilers jersey, it's like they're a different version. It's not the normal one they wear, and they're wearing it last night. So I woke up thinking about how great this jersey looked and how much I love Connor McDavid, and I was like, oh, it's on sale. Bye.
Naturally.
Must know.
I feel like I did the same thing with the Mighty Ducks. I was like, I like their logo, I like their colors. There's nothing about this I don't like, and then I found out that they never win.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, that's the same with Toronto Maple Leafs, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's
we haven't
true.
won
That's true.
since the 60s, but I still love them and will support them. And it's a depressing franchise to be in, but it's
Right.
It is, yeah.
Sad for Canadians.
Just a constant disappointment.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's too bad. Did you just love Mighty Ducks though because of the Mighty Ducks? Because that's the only reason I loved. Like,
well, no, I liked the Mighty Ducks before the movie, and then when they created the movies, I'm like, oh hell yeah, this movie's made for me.
Yeah.
Coach Bombay all the way. But no, I love the colors. It was the colors and the logo that I really liked. Yeah.
Yeah, it like sucks me in. Like there's even the like Miami Dolphins. I love like the teal, but like I know nothing about the Miami Dolphins, but like I'd rock a Miami Dolphins shirt. Like that looks cool. And like I'm watching basketball right now, and a lot of teams have like different variants jerseys or like ones that are like supporting pride or stuff like that. And there was actually last year's NFL, they do every year like a cancer initiative, and the one they did last year, the merch essentially they put out for that was really cool, and like so I bought that, and it's just like I'm a sucker for things that like obviously I think look cool, even if like that's not my team, I'll still probably buy it.
Megan's all about that aesthetic.
I like the aesthetic.
Yeah.
And that's fair. I think I mean you like what you like. So if it catches your eye, you're gonna be like, I don't really care what it is. I like it.
Yeah.
See, I went so far though as to making sure that I at least knew one of the players on the Mighty Ducks team. So people would be like, oh, do you even watch them? I'm like, yeah, Paul Correa.
I feel like being able to name just one thing, they're like, oh, okay, you're good. That's why like when I bought the jersey, I'm like, I truly do think Connor McDavid is incredible. So even if like, and I feel bad saying it, but like, you know, even if I've only watched a handful of games, I'm not a diehard Edmonton Oilers fan, but like I think he's amazing, so I'm gonna name drop him when I wear my Edmonton Oilers jersey.
I like that. Yeah, she knows how to like legitimize it.
Yeah, exactly. So I do feel a lot better now that she's reassured me that I don't need a framed jersey to be a true Canadian.
No,
because that's never gonna happen in my life.
And she said that we didn't even need to like sports, so
that's
I think we're in the clear.
Relief.
Yeah, you absolutely don't need to love sports at all.
Well, I mean, I like sports.
What?
I like
what
Raptors.
Sports?
I like Raptors and the Jays. I enjoy.
There you go.
Them winning when they win.
I enjoy them winning.
Yeah, when that happens, it's good.
Do you watch Letterkenny?
Yeah.
I do. I've seen. I think I maybe haven't seen like the last 2 seasons, but they're actually COVID, the first wave last year of lockdown. There was a lot of Letterkenny binging, and it was a joy to watch.
All right, well, let's see how this goes then. Okay. How are you now?
Oh, hold on. How are you now? Good, and you?
Not so bad.
You nailed it. That was perfect. That was perfection.
That was good.
It's been a while. Like this is my struggle. Is I watch things and I get really excited about them, and then when people quiz me on them, I'm like, oh crap, I forget.
That sounds a lot like somebody I know.
And then they think that I'm like a phony or like I'm on the bandwagon or something. And I was like, no, I really do like it. I just like I can't connect the dots after like a month. Like I just finished watching Schitt's Creek, and that is an incredible show. So good. And then people will quote it, and I'm like, sorry, what's that from?
Yeah. No, I get that like that too.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Also an incredible show. God, I love Canada sometimes.
Canada's got some good shows. Yeah.
I actually just bought these are Dan Levy eyeglasses.
Did you get I was looking into those too.
Yeah. I have to get
them off?
I mean, they don't have my actual prescription in them. I actually bought them because I mean, I was super excited about this, but on the Dan Levy eyewear website or whatever, it said that this one was made for people with like wide heads, and I feel like I have a wide head, so I bought it.
This was made for me.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
they don't have my prescription in them, so I can't see. But I love like the thick rim because my prescription is so bad that my lenses are so thick,
Oh
so
my
I can
God, I
only
love
ever
those.
get I can only ever get glasses that have really thick frames because or else the lenses will pop out. It's a problem.
Those look awesome, Meg.
fantastic. Yeah.
I'm very excited.
Yeah, we're aiming actually. We want to get Jared Iso,
God, that would be like.
but we're going to be reaching out to CBC or not CBC, Crave and Letterkenny to see if we can get them on for an interview as
Like-
well. So
Oh,
like
that
the
would be so cool.
auctioneer or McMurray.
I
or
want
just, like,
McMurray.
Anybody.
That's what I
McMurray would be
want.
pretty entertaining.
Or no one.
Oh, I have never seen or like watched a video or anything of him outside of that character, and I'm just like trying to picture what he sounds like outside of that character.
Don't do
and
it.
I can't.
Don't
I
don't
know,
watch
I'm
an
gonna be
interview. Don't watch anything.
disappointed.
It ruins it
Don't
because
be
he talks like a normal person.
Does he?
Yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I hope. I wish that you didn't. I wish like that was actually how you really talked, but that's obviously not true.
No,
It's gotta be. No, it has to be.
it is. I meant it is. That's exactly how he talks. You can't be on if we interview.
I won't be. I need to be held and protected. When Tennocon is held again in person, what is the one treat that's universally loved by all of DE that one could potentially bake and bring?
Oh, that's a good question.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
why, but my mind went to Cinnabons or like
Oh.
cinnamon buns. Sorry, Cinnabons a company. Cinnamon buns.
Yep, that's a good answer. That's so yummy.
Yeah,
Who doesn't love a good
cinnamon buns. Cinnabons are incredible.
Cinnabons
Are
incredible.
stupid good.
Yeah.
Love them. I don't know why
Straight to
Cinnabons
my
are just straight to the hips. But Cinnabons are just like a classic.
Yeah.
No one hates Cinnabons, you know?
No, nobody. Okay, so we're rounding up to the end. I'm gonna ask my very last question that I
Okay,
personally
I need to
want
come up
know.
with my very own question too.
Yeah, you're gonna go at the very end.
Okay.
Mine is, what is your, if you could pick one object that you own, what it would be your favorite possession?
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's a question.
It is. I know.
Um
It's not fair because I can't answer it myself, which I realize is not fair. It's tough.
yeah, there's just I mean, there is a it sounds weird. There's a spoon that I have
Ooh.
from my grandparents that I think a lot of kids had this spoon, but it has like the Mickey Mouse on the end of it. And my sister and I would, whenever we went over to my grandparents, we would fight. Again, sharing is caring, but we would fight over who could have the spoon when we were like having ice cream. It was very much an ice cream spoon, but we would fight over who gets to have it. And after my grandma passed away, my grandpa gave it to me, and I actually have it. I don't even use it as a spoon. It's sitting on like my night table beside my bed, and I just like see the spoon every morning. I know that's super weird, but like it's probably one of the most sentimental things that I have.
That's really cool.
That's an awesome. That's a really good answer.
Do you talk to it?
I don't talk to it.
Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't either. That's weird. Okay.
Sarah says you have the spoon. And
And
feel
she's
like
also
it's
not
angry
pleased that your
messaging.
grandpa gave it to you and not
No,
her.
actually, and the reason why she's probably mad is because she doesn't know that he gave it to me, because we were over there for years ago, like a dinner or something, some kind of thing that my grandpa was hosting, and
Right.
it's like typical that my grandpa won't do the dishes. Like he slaves over the cooking, and then my mom and myself will do the dishes totally fine. My dad, my stepdad. And we're washing it, and I opened the utensil drawer to put all the spoons and stuff in, and then I saw the Mickey Mouse one, and I was like, "Oh, this spoon, so many memories!" And my grandpa just like whispered in my ear, he's like, "You can take it," and I was like, and like I put it in my back pocket and didn't tell Sarah.
Well, yeah, Sarah didn't know till just now.
Yes.
Sarah is finding out on stream of this travesty.
I got the spoon.
Yeah. How you like me now?
It's COVID. You can't get it
Yeah,
back.
come get it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Get it.
I love
Okay,
it.
so now
I'll
I have
share,
my
I'll share.
question.
Yeah. Do you have a question?
Oh,
There was
farts.
one that somebody else asked if you'd rather.
Well, I wouldn't I want to have a solid question.
Okay, keep thinking, because I want to know about Mabel and Dipper. Are those your cats?
Those are my sister's cats.
Okay,
yeah.
sisters' cats.
And which one's
Mhm.
better, Mabel or Dipper?
Ooh, the thing is, like, Mabel is beautiful. She's one of like the most. I love long-haired animals. Like, I want a golden retriever in my life soon, eventually. I've always gravitated towards like long-haired dogs, long-haired cats. So Mabel is just like this beautiful brindle long-haired cat, and she's so like chirpy, like she's so cute. Dipper is like stupid in like the cutest
Yeah.
way. Like
Yeah.
she's
No, it's a
she's
perfect
like this
explanation.
little potato. Like she's just so food driven, but she's so cute at the same time. And like when my sister and I used to live together, so I lived with the cats. Dipper, I used to like grab Dipper and like hold it like a baby, and it would just like stare at me like, please end this agony. But it would just like let me do it, and I'm like, oh, I love you, Dipper. So.
Yeah, you stay right here.
Aw.
Very good. That's adorable.
So I can't really think of a good question. So I guess this will be my question.
Okay.
Meg, if we were to invite you back to play games and chill, would you say yes or no, or maybe?
100%, I absolutely would.
Yeah,
Thank you.
we're pretty alright.
Aw, that's so
Just
nice
don't
of
ask
you.
about Among Us because you already know
Yeah,
that I'm bad
no.
at lying.
Oh yeah,
It's
I'll
not
have to
fair.
find something
We'll
else.
play Genshin. One of these beautiful duckies is coming your way.
Yay!
Yeah.
I hope you're ready. Do you have a certain color of hair that you would like? There's purple, blue, green, orange, red. Is there a color of hair
Ooh.
that you would prefer? It's all rainbowy, but there's like a fluff that's like more distinctive.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm gonna go with purple.
All right,
Purple.
I'm gonna
All right.
find you a purple one just
I'll
for
write
you.
that down.
Purple ducky for you.
Well,
Thank you.
that being said, we are coming to the end of the interview. It's been 2 hours already, which is insane.
know, it went
That
by
just
so
flew
fast.
by.
Mhm.
We really appreciate you coming on
Yeah.
and taking the time to spend 2 hours with us. I imagine you are very busy as things are continuing to go on at DE.
As always.
So thank you
Yeah.
very much for coming on. And
This has been a really special treat for me. I'm a big fan of yours, so thank
Oh,
you so much
Lala.
for this. It was so great. It was so great.
No, thank you for having me. Anytime I will come back and we could talk about corn and how
Yes.
much we love pineapple on pizza. Am I right?
I feel like we should have like a corn eating stream, like in the summer, with like
Oh,
fresh
yeah.
cobs of corn.
because we're
each
like, as
get-
long as it's not COVID, we're definitely
Yeah.
close enough. I hear a corn eating
we
competition.
we should like it's a corn eating and
It's a corn
interview.
off.
It's a corn off.
Yeah.
Corn.
Yeah.
As
we're gonna-
corny as that sounds.
We're gonna do it.
Yeah.
I gotta say, when I had braces growing up, not being able to eat corn on the cob the way it's meant to be eaten was a very dark
Oh.
time in my life.
You had to cut it off the cob and
Although I shaved corn off of corn on the cob is incredible. It comes in like a sheet and
Yeah.
it's just like a snack.
yeah,
so
it's like
good.
a crispy chip.
Good.
Yeah,
I've
it's
done
so
that before.
good.
Do you put some butter on it? You're just laughing.
Oh.
You're laughing all the way to the bank.
Yum.
Yes, it's the yummiest.
Yeah,
So we'll say goodbye, and then we'll go over to the chatting screen and we'll find someone to raid.
absolutely.
To bring all these wonderful people over to. But thank you so much. Everybody say goodbye to Megan. Say thank you for your awesome time. We appreciate you.
Say bye, Meg.
Everybody.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much, Megan.
Bye, Meg.
Bye.
Bye.